What up, though? Yo, how you going? It's LadyChann, nonetheless, and welcome to. Sorry, guys, I am massively late. I am sorry, and it's not even the grandest of grandest excuses that I need to, give you because it's just, yeah, it's like, yeah, this happened, so But yeah, we're gonna plow through the weekly wrap up show. We're trying to decide that sometimes I'll alternate between Mondays and Tuesdays because I find that Tuesdays we have a little bit more insight than we do from where we're all clamoring as content creators over the weekend to see what's going on then. What we're trying to add 2+2 making 6 half of the time, it's always when you need that one bloody lip gloss, should I say, because that other one is saying leave me alone out here. I've got to do oh, I know what I'll put on. Okay, cool, found this one. This is the same color as what I'm wearing, so I'm going to put the link in the chat. Sorry. And I'm going to introduce one of my favorite new people. Hang on, I shouldn't even be talking while I do this. I should be doing this. This is what happens when you're dealing with women. It's horrible, isn't it? I know. Guys, do you remember I used to have my hair all shaved at the back and sides and just have the top? I'll go back to it because when it's just easy. Oh, that's why that's like that. It was just easier in life. It was easier. It was all so simple then. Yeah. The winner made it all, or whatever the song's called. Let me put the link in the building. I'll shout you out. I got to do the. I also got to put the banner. Excuse me. What up, Hap? I see you in the building. Hang on. I'm at this help. Un momento, por favor. Oh, that's nice. Hang on. Oh, sorry. I need to Come on, Lappy. You can do it, girl. So, we are going to be talking about Eddie Hearn's bid and Dillian Whyte, with reports of Dillian Whyte, may I add, reports of Dillian Whyte possibly pulling out of the fight due to his radio silencio. See? So I don't know. Yeah, due to his radio silence. So we want to chop it up and get opinions. Guys, I will be having shows where I'll be taking calls. I may go for that next week or the week after. Bear with me. I've got to just sort everything out. So let's get this banner. Let's get this banner done. Shall we? Let's look a little professional, at least. Okay. So there's the Cash App. # LadyChann. YouTube, do not take any of my money from Cash App. Let me see. Do I look a bit too bright and washed out? You have these lights. Hang on 1 sec. Let's see if that's, I think. There you go, girl. Sometimes they're trying to make you look like Michael Jackson. That ain't the thing. All right. Let me just get this on. Quickly type this. Dillian Whyte reported to pull out of Fury fight. Dillian Whyte reported to pull out of Fury fight. And it is the weekly wrap-up show. This will not be a long show, guys. This will not be no longer than an hour and 15. So, whoever's, come in, get in the buildings in. It's not going to be one of Shann's famous 7-hour lives like what we did last week. Okie dokes, we are here. Let's go. So, I want to say, Lisa, it's in the link's in the chat, guys. So I want to say, Candice Moody is in the building. Lisa Bells, my sister, is in the building. The Expert Genius is in the building. ERS Boxing in the building. Sammy Ali in the building. Malcolm Marcel in the building. Toby Bartlett in the building. TJ King in the building. AJ all day in the building. Lisa T in the building. Hap you in the building. Yep. Y'all in the build. Arthur Hawkins, you in the building. We got a $2 super chat from Donald Banks, who's in the building. You, Shan, you getting ready for out, date late. No, there's no date. There's no date. Today is Tuesday, no dating today. Salute the beautiful. Oh, sorry. Arthur Hawkins is in the building. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Off the Ropes Boxing and MMA is in the building. In the building. All right. What up, though? I'm sure I'm supposed to do an interview with you. Yeah, we're doing that. Like, I'm here, so we'll get that done. Thank you very much. So I'm introducing now. I'm introducing. Introducing Kenny. Ken. Ding. What up, though, Ken?
Well, a lot's happened in the last few days. A lot of talk, a lot of agreements, but I think boxing people know the real reason why there's a silence from the Whyte camp.
We're gonna get
because I think there's an A word that we're going to sort of touch on.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, we've got okay. So just be. Let's see. Hang on one sec. What was I just supposed to do when you just said that? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to look and pin the thing on the chat so it's pinned, so I don't have to keep looking at it in going down. Repinning it. So let me just make sure it's pinned. I've got to do it from here, didn't I? Okie dokes. Pin message. Guys, you're welcome on the panel. This ain't a long show, so get in. If you're coming in, come in. The link is pinned in the chat. So that is where we are at. Bars. Okay. So let's kick off. It's Shani. It's Shani and Kenny. So where we're gonna start first is the radio site. No, let's start from they won winning the purse bid, right? So we'll go purse bid. I want to see what your opinion is on ERF Boxing in the bill. Dizzy. Kaboom. Oh, you look like you're having one of them spinny ones where it's not connected. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
There you are. Hello, thanks for joining us, ERF.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm all right, not too bad. We're just gonna touch base and go from some kind of chronological order of what's happened. So it went to purse bids. So let's get the stats right. Eddie Hearn bid £24 million, which is $31 million. Yeah? Okay. Frank Warren bid £31 million, which is $41 million. Therefore, the biggest purse bid to date, that's been one, and Eddie Hearn second. Now, okay, I've got my own take on this, but you guys go first because you're my guests. So Kenny, Ken. Where was your head at? What do you think about just solely them Queensbury and Top Rank winning the purse bid, and then we'll go to ERF.
I think mostly, I think what's happening is that it was kind of a given because Tyson Fury fights primarily on BT Sports, and he fights in ESPN out in America. I think it was a joint bid between Bob Arum and Fat Warren, because I think although Tyson Fury's not a British national, I think that with Bob Arum representing Tyson Fury, he wants to make sure that the heavyweight title, that version of it, WBC, stays in American hands, kind of. So that's one of the reasons why it was kind of up there in terms of like a dumb thing that that Fat Warren would do a joint promotion with Bob Arum, and if Bob Arum's putting half the money up, then again, I wasn't surprised that they won the purse bids. I think there was also issues as well where I thought that, surprisingly, Ben Shalom announced himself as Dillian Whyte's advisor, which I found quite surprising, considering that Dillian Whyte, although he's freelance promoter, all his big fights have been promoted primarily by Eddie Hearn since if you include the fight with Anthony Joshua. So I was a bit surprised that, and Ben Shalom is telling everyone who's listened that he was doing a talking, but it wasn't just Ben Shalom who was saying that, it was Arum and Warren. But in terms of Eddie Hearn DAZN, I think there was a limit DAZN were going to go to, and I think they probably knew that Frank Warren on their own, maybe they wouldn't have probably lost a bid, but if it's alongside Bob Arum, I think they thought, right, we're going to put in, which is a record bid of £23 million, a record purse bid, but they kind of knew that Top Rank and BT Sport were going to go a bit higher.
Yeah, I said in my report last week, if I was, remember I asked what would we all bid? Well, I said I would bid on this fight 30 mil max. Yeah, 30 mil max. Because I thought the fight was worth 30 mil. Maybe I think it's worth a little bit more, but I mean, you got to be a bit realistic in the times, and you kind of got to bid in that mid range. But I'll give more of my opinion after. ERF in the build, Dizzin. What up, Dow? What's up?
Yeah, I'm good.
What do you think
quite
about
honestly,
this?
I think it was the ploy by Eddie, because Eddie kept saying in interviews, "I'm gonna bid aggressively." So he kept on saying it and kept on saying it to make Frank and Bob think, you know what, we need to put our heads together, because we can't allow Tyson Fury to be on there. And I think it works out as what Eddie bid was basically just above what they was offering Dillian Whyte anyway. So I think they was offering Dillian Whyte $5 million. I think Eddie, if he worked it out, he'd just about just over 5, maybe 6 mil.
Right.
And Eddie knew he wasn't winning this first bid. He purposely was putting it out there that he's going to be aggressive to get Dillian some more money from their side. And for me, why they was offering Dillian 5 million, knowing full well he wasn't going to take it, and then go to first bid and then bid so high for it, it just looked like they were stalling, trying to get Tyson Fury that interim fight in March, but it just didn't work out.
Right. So was you shocked, or was you shocked that of Eddie's
You know
bid?
what?
Was you shocked of? Get rid of these types
I was shocked.
Sorry, moderators, get rid of these types of these spammers in the chat. Just hide them, please. Thank you. Let's go. Sorry, go ahead.
So when I seen the result of the first bid and I saw Frank won it, I was like, oh, well, I'm surprised. And I thought about it, and then it came out that half the money was coming from Bob. So I thought, right, we might not have known that, but Eddie knew that was going to happen. He already knew that was going to happen. Those two would team up on it, because I think this is
your connection's quite bad,
Bob.
Yeah, you got your connection's a bit bad. It's
Yeah.
breaking up.
Let,
You're
all
kind of
right. Let
robotic.
me switch to the laptop.
Yeah, it's better always on the laptop. Always. All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
See
I'll
you in a
switch.
minute.
I'll switch.
Just jump right back in. All right.
Yeah.
Pimp Sniper, what up?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're in the build, Dizzin. Welcome. I don't think I've had you before on the show, no?
I was on once before, but yeah.
Oh, was you? Was you called Pimp Sniper? Doubt it.
No, I was. No.
Was you?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
like
okay.
something I was really interested in what you were saying earlier in one of your videos was about the manipulating, being able to manipulate the purse bid.
Yeah.
So obviously Warren, his fighter had 80%, his B fighter had 20, Hearn's A fighter had 20%, his B fighter had 80. So obviously it's a lot easier for Warren to win the purse bid if he can come out, can strike a deal with his A fighter a smaller amount than what he's actually going to bid. Like that's what I'm finding really interesting about this whole saga. Yeah, I'd just like to know your takes on it, to be honest.
Okay, so my take on it initially when I heard it, I don't know if you saw my report. I was like, bloody hell, Eddie, mate, you've just really underbidded because you kept talking about you was bidding aggressively, and then sometimes kick back and you start to learn things. You see some information there, you see these opinions there, you see this stats and data over here, and then I was like, oh, I get it now. So Eddie bidding 24 milli would have given Dillian Whyte his biggest purse bid to date of £5 million, which Dillian Whyte on his own usually makes 3 to 4 milli anyway. So this would have only, so what Eddie did was, knowingly that they wanted this bid to go their way over at Queensbury, he put out that kind of fake thing. I'm going to bid aggressively. So it made them, because he pushed this to purse bids, because for them, they was keeping Dillian Whyte at, as we saw, to have, I think, $5.5 million, which is £3 million, £3.5 million, which was a no bueno. So Eddie pushed that to purse bids, went everywhere and said, I'm going to bid aggressively. They've all got together and went, no, we can't have Eddie Hearn winning this purse bid. So we're going to have to bid super duper aggressively to win this bid. Touche to Eddie, because that then gave Dillian Whyte his biggest payday, plus with a bonus. It still could have been a bit more, but plus with a bonus. They probably knew what Tyson Fury wanted, and they said, Top Fury, we'll give you 15, 16 milli out of the purse bid that we're bidding for, and that keeps them afloat. So they was always the heads up. Well, they thought they was the heads up. Both of them were the heads up. They was both playing mind games, which worked. So now the Dillian Whyte, it's all on them. They have to pay Dillian Whyte the biggest purse. They've got to make sure they don't go bust with this fight. And, Dillian Whyte doesn't do anything. He just reaps the benefits, and so does Eddie Hearn, gets his cut. Round of applause to Eddie Hearn, mate. Round of applause.
That's right. And like something I found really one of the angles I found quite interesting with like that whole type of it was that you only got to put 10% deposit down.
Yeah, you got.
So you ain't even got to show all, like Frank Warren doesn't have to show the $41 million. No. He's got to show $4.1 million.
$4.1 million or
yeah. So that for me, I was like, all right, okay. Then it all started like making sense of it.
Yeah, it's because we're learning the business side of it. Because we, like, growing up, we didn't need to know this. We weren't on. There was no social media, so we didn't need to. We didn't really know about this. And to be honest, we didn't care. Now, being a fight fan or a boxing analyst, it's almost that you've got to go to business school. You've got to take a business class. And I would urge people that want to get into any type of pro sports, please go and take a business course at college or at home, I hope, because it's going to help you in the end. for you to be able to leverage deals and understand the business of sports and understand how deals go down. I think it's very instrumental that you take a business course, knowing that you're coming into the world of sports, because it's more business. I say this coming from the music industry. It's more business than music, and it's more business than boxing in most sports. So yeah. So was that where you was coming from, Pimp Sniper? Sounds wild to say that name.
Yeah.
You're right, Pimp Sniper. Yeah. So is that where you was
like honestly, yeah, it was, yeah, because and it was your video, honestly, that kind of like set the alarm bells ringing like a little bit.
Glad
And yeah, so the way I'm kind of seeing it like at this point is, let's say for example, Warren struck a deal with Fury to say, right, you've got a 12 million guaranteed, White 8 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's 10 million that they can just wipe off. That they can just blag, or that they can almost just blag, right? Just to make sure that they get the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to get my head around it, like in like more detail. But I think that's kind of.
I'm still learning about it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know it all either. I'm trying to see, does this keep them out of the red? Does it put them in the red because they've bought in kind of cheap? If they've arranged with Fury, right, we're giving you, like I said, 15 mil. We'll give Dill is what was it? Dill gets his
20.
7 mil.
Right, 7.
Yeah. And Tyson, even though you're entitled to 25 milli, we're going to give you, it's all right if we can give you 15, 16 milli. And then we've got this amount of money to play with. So we'll do the promo. It'll keep them maybe in not in the red. And maybe whatever they've got, like, because they've spent less money paying off the two fighters, the money that they've got left after promo and that, who knows that it doesn't go kind of back into the kitty of two. Like, here, Frank, thank you. Here, Bob, thank you for borrowing me the 7 mil. I've got that. You can take that back now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it could be like that. I doubt we'll ever know, because I doubt they'll ever tell us. But
like, because that's what I was thinking when you said like putting money back into like the promo and things. I was thinking, well, like they're probably not even going to do that. Like they're probably just not even going to like disclose the rest of the money. They're going to do like a wink with Fury, say, look, here's your 15 instead of 22, 23. Here's White's 7.5, 8 milli, right? And the rest, we can put this into promo, this into the undercard, this into the the logistics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So and we don't even have to disclose the rest, because all we got to do is put our 10% into the bank, like for the purse bid, and technically that's all we got to do. Like as long as we pay White, like White's like, he's the main one that they like physically have to pay, right? Like according to this purse bid. But with Fury, they could strike up any deal, This
is what I'm saying. So they was kind of heads up. And if we do, I know, shouts out to Coach Malachi Williams, because he always says, thou shalt not be a promoter, like a fan that's a promoter, a manager, people that are fans and they try to be managers. I say floyers now, because there's fans that we're lawyer and we turned into fucking lawyers now. But we're gonna have to dive into this. Hang on 1 second. Penny, can you guys just muster it up and talk? Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. But the point you made is that what another thing that they're going to, in order to try and appease White as well, is they got to find an extra prize money as well. We're talking an extra £3 or £4 million, because as a sweetener, the winner not only gets a Ring magazine title on the line, they're also going to get a bonus as well for winning the fight. So again, that's another incentive to try and appease Dillian Whyte. But one of the things that that is really, really interesting about the whole situation is that, again,
yeah, that's right. Well,
One
do
of
you
the
know what I
things
mean?
I do.
Like, well, I was listening to the latest like Warren interviews, and I'm not sure if you felt the same way, but
Mm.
like I've the way I was listening to Warren, he was almost like surprised that the WBC came out with that ruling. So maybe that might have been like the result of the arbitration. I'm not sure.
I think that was a lot of that was to try and appease Dillian Whyte to give him counsel on the
Yeah,
floor, because again, in terms of like the WBC rules and everything, you know, Dillian Whyte was the interim champion, and all of a sudden I think that there was a lot of kerfuffle, mostly from Kafat Warren, and to a lesser extent Bob Arum, where they're trying to doubt his interim status because of the first loss to Povetkin. So I think in terms of like, they know that Dillian Whyte's not happy with his cut. So again, it's incentives. And, you know, one of the things that, you know, you yourself and LadyChann touched on is that whatever happens, Tyson Fury's not the one who's going to be affected. Like, whatever does that, he's already got his own separate deal with Bob Arum and,
Right.
you know, and Frank Warren, Big Frank, to the extent that, as you guys said, they have to be, the person that they have to pay is Dillian Whyte. So,
yeah,
and even whatever, you know, say if it goes to arbitration, they say, right, we want to give Dillian Whyte another 10%. That's not coming out of Tyson Fury's money. That's
No.
down to find the money.
But yeah, but there's space for that. This is why I think they've left space for it, because if they decided to give Tyson Fury what he was truly entitled to, which is like £25 million, right? Then imagine the arbitrator then says Dillian Whyte is the split's now 60-40. There's not now their guy is losing a lot more money and paying the opposite guy a lot more money. So there's no really that much wiggle room. So then, you know, when to break even for this fight, it's gonna, even to make just to break even is now gonna be a hard task, because there's no money left in the kitty, if you get what I'm saying, with what we was talking about with having money left over and just paying Tyson Fury a certain fee and XYZ. But what I wanted to do is break down even more these stats and these stats. I know it's business. You're going to have to take a business class, guys, because boxing is no longer, it's just a sport. I reiterate,
Nice.
It's not a sport.
it is wild. It is wild.
It's wild. You've got to do all of this.
Yeah,
I never thought I'd need my maths, GCSE maths
Yeah,
after
but a lot of
now I need
boxers
it.
nowadays, they are
Algebra,
businessmen.
shit.
They are businessmen. And they know how to keep most of their money, to a certain extent. That, can you imagine it in today's terms? Mickey Duff can work today. People like Mickey Duff, or, you know, even like, you know, Don King, because certainly, especially Mickey Duff, especially, was one of the who had a signature tune where basically he was your promoter and your manager. That can never happen.
Well, you can't do that now because of the Muhammad Ali Act. But I mean, that was the reason. Because Don King was the spinster behind that, wasn't it? Yeah, so you can't be the promoter and the manager. So Al Heyman slides in and calls himself an advisor. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, so listen to this, right? We're gonna touch Third Coast. His smarmy little American point of view. Nobody's gonna watch this fight. You know, you got 3 Brits on the panel now. It's all 3 British. You can't come here and tell us nobody's gonna watch that fight. Maybe you ain't gonna watch that.
It's what I've always been. It's what I've always said about you know, people from the United States is that they're only interested in just kind of the
they're casuals.
Boxing, athletics, and
not
tennis.
All of you, by the way.
Yeah, not all of you, but I think in general, I think the American psyche, tennis becomes
American. They don't want it.
Yeah, but you know, like tennis, it becomes a really sexy sport in America if their man's the number one. The same with the heavyweight championship. If their man's the number one,
number one, then they're on
100 meters in the Olympics. It's their man's number one. If their man's not number one, they're going to go back to sports that a World Series, which is basically involving American teams like World Series baseball. You know what I mean?
Third Coast, we're going to watch it. Boxing purists are going to watch it. This is a big fight. It's a massive heavyweight fight. Doesn't always. If we took the same attitude when you guys was running the heavyweight division a few moons ago, we wouldn't have watched you. We grew up watching the Americans. I keep saying this in my show. We grew up watching the Americans. You guys that had the heavyweight division on lock. None of us went, oh, nobody's going to watch it just because there weren't any Brits in it. You lot need to come up with that, man. Like this divisive, like kind of rhetoric. It don't fly with me. If you ain't going to watch it, and maybe your name, if your name is nobody, if your name is nobody, then I get what you're saying. You're saying you're not going to watch it because you're nobody. Don't come on here and let me just done your dance. I do this in my sleep.
Well, look, I mean, look, listen, I would love to ask you quickly. I'm not sure if this is like going to be one of the segments or something, but
you can.
What does it do then? I mean, can it sell out Wembley? I mean, I would assume it could sell out Cardiff. Cardiff 70,000, Wembley's 90,000. I mean, like, how far can they stretch it, like here in the UK?
I wouldn't push it.
What's the pay-per-view numbers? Like, what's it going to do?
This is where I'm going. So, but you also have to realise about the breakdown of all this money, and then we'll get into that. So let's go. So 41 million straight off the bat. Mr. IRS comes in and takes 40% of that. So that's nearly half. So that leaves you with like, I want to say 20.
Yeah, when we say in England, you're talking about in England, isn't it?
In England, yeah. So you're left with like 21 million, right? Yes. All right, forget that. Let's talk about the purses. So let's talk about how these fighters' purses are. So straight away, let's go with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, we're assuming that he's got how much did they say they're paying him? 24 million, 25 million. Is that pounds or dollars?
Let's just say pounds.
Yeah, it's 20. Pounds. Yeah, it was pounds. So 25 million pounds. Yeah, that's pounds. 40% of that, 40% of that, 1750. Hang on, my maths is just doing my head in. 1250.
Well, I'll quickly Google it.
13. So let's say that's 13. Yeah, 13.
40% of what? 25 million.
Yeah. It's like 13 million.
13 million.
Yeah, 13 million, right? So then that's gone to taxman. So Tyson Fury's now got 13 million. Then he's got to give a percentage to Top Rank, Bob. Yeah, a discussed percentage. Usually it's 30% to your handler. Anything between 25 and 30%. So 30%. Let's do 30% off of 13 mil. So you're left with like 7 mil, right? Fucking hell, you're going home with your Oyster card, Tyson Fury. Going home with your Oyster card.
Are you talking about all these hangers on and the trainers and all that?
Yeah, because listen, so just say 7 mil. That's just for top rank. That's just for Top Rank, getting that 30%. But I could be nice and just say, all right, let's say they decide they want to take 25%. That leaves him with 8 mil. All right, and then you've got to give now Frank Warren his percentage. He wants his 25%. So that leaves
25.
What is he getting then? He's a promoter. Why isn't he not? Why? Do you want to say he's getting?
I'm not doing that.
All right then. Let's say he's getting 15%. Then let's say he's getting 15. Let's say he's getting 15%, right? So that he gets that takes it down. Just say it's like takes that down to 7 mil, right? We take $1 million off of that, like 7 mil. Then Tyson Fury's got to pay his trainers, right? So they take a percentage. It's trainers. How much do you reckon they take for the camp? For the whole camp?
That'll be 10%, isn't it? I thought it was
10%.
10%.
So 10%. So that's off 7 mil. That's 700 grand. So we just let's just round it down in it because I can't bother to be like, all right. So that takes it down to 6 mil. Then he's got George Lockhart, who is the top nutritionist. He's definitely taken $1 mil, so that goes to 5 million because I know. And then he's got to pay MTK Global because they're the ones that.
They don't take massive percentages of their fighters' fees.
Yeah, so they may take like 30 bags off of him, innit? Like it just gives 30 bags.
Well, that's funny because they're the ones that like I thought MTK were going to be the big ones. I thought they would take the 10%. The trainers would take 2 to 5%. The nutritionists might take 1%. But
they so-called don't take that much. MTK Global. So let's just say he's at 4.5.
Okay, fair enough.
Just say they've taken 500 bags. Like, just say that's what they've taken. So we're at 4.5 milli. So that's Tyson after getting the full whack of 25 million. He would walk away with 4.5 milli. Like, approximately.
Fuck, you know. That's mad, isn't it?
25 million pounds. Now let's go with Dillian Whyte. It's different with Whyte. So Dillian Whyte, that's why he's a don. Dillian Whyte's a don anyway. This is why. I'll tell you why he's a don, right? So he ain't walking away with loads, but okay, cool. So he gets, what was he getting?
If he wins the fight, he gets 10 million. If he wins, he gets 10 million.
But they're both. But if Tyson Fury wins, he gets an extra 4 million as well. So we've left that in the pit now. So Dillian Whyte, 6 million. Straight off of that, Mr. Taxman comes in with the 40%. So, you know, he's at £4 million, right? £4 million. Then he's got to give, he manages himself. So doesn't have to give a manager.
Yeah.
Then he has to break off, you know, fight by fight. Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn will probably get.
Nah, but it's not promoted by Eddie, so. Nah, it's not promoted by Eddie, so.
Yeah, but Eddie helped promoted by Eddie,
so you don't have to pay Eddie.
He does.
Nah, but it's gone to
but they're saying that Ben Shalom did it. They're saying that Ben Shalom. They say that Ben Shalom was
because it's gone to first. Yeah, but because it's first bids, Eddie didn't win it, so you don't have to pay Eddie anything. Eddie hasn't got anything to do with the promotion.
No, he does. Yeah, he does. Because he's gone to. Yeah, he does. Eddie, that was like when Teofimo Lopez and George Cambosos went to Triller. Bob still got money off of that purse bid.
Yeah, but it's Eddie promoting him.
Yeah, but Dillian Whyte is promoted but it's still fight by fight deal basis. So for this fight, Eddie Hearn is the promoter. Yeah, for this fight, Eddie Hearn is Dillian Whyte's promoter. Without Eddie Hearn, there's no promotional team for Dillian Whyte. That's why Eddie Hearn was doing it's Eddie Hearn. It's fight by fight. I know what you're saying, but it's a fight by fight basis.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just looked at it the other way.
So you're thinking Eddie Hearn
does this? You're probably right.
You're thinking Eddie Hearn does this for free.
No, what I'm saying is if Eddie's promoting him for the fight, then he pays Eddie. If Eddie's not promoting the fight, then he doesn't have to pay him because he's not promoting this fight. Top Rank and Frank are promoting this fight, so therefore he doesn't have to pay Eddie anything because Eddie doesn't officially promote him. He's not promoting him for this fight. Eddie went in for the purse bids to try and win the promotion. So if Eddie had won it, if Eddie had won the promotion, then Dillian would have to pay him.
Got you. Hi, Leighton. All right, so Eddie ain't getting nothing, which is cool then. So we're at 4 mil for Dillian. So we're at 4 mil. Yeah, King Ronald, it is the fight. So far, we haven't heard it been pulled. So he's at 4 million. So we've given... Who else? We've given he manages himself. We've given the tax man money. Who else?
Does Ben Shalom get anything? Because, you know, according to, you know...
His trainers.
Oh, yeah, his trainers. Oh, yeah, so Xavier Miller and team, let's just take off. Shall we just take... Because he's got like 4 people in his camp, so shall we just take off $1 million off of that? Yeah? It's $1 million, innit? Like, for everybody.
Looking at that.
So we're down
to... $1 million for everybody.
We're down to 3 million, and then that's it.
Nah. Well, have you taken off like travel, logistics?
Yeah, but that's all within the camp money. 1 million. Like,
right. Okay.
There may be a bit more miscellaneous. We may have some miscellaneous, like, you know, you might have.
You know the hotels and all that. You know the hotels and all that. Oh yeah.
Can we get to the final? Yeah, that is. It's covered by the promoters. Dillian Whyte will just have to cover like his sparring partners and their accommodation and flights and stuff like that. But everything else with like car travel.
That's mad, isn't it?
So camps are expensive. So we're down to 3 million. What about Ben? What are you saying about Ben Shalom? Does he have to pay Ben Shalom anything then?
You know what's happening is because according to Bob Arum and Frank Warren, they were saying that Dillian Whyte's advisor wasn't it was Ben Shalom. Who was basically doing what?
Yeah, I did hear that. So that means basically we're going to give some money to Ben Shalom out of this, then, are we? Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah, he's not
So
doing it for
if
nothing, is he?
Yeah, well, if he's
Well,
advising him,
what did he do though? What did Ben Shalom do?
Advice, but the same way we gave 500 grand for MTK Global, we're going to give 500 grand out of that money for Shalom. So that will be 2.5 left in his back. That's it, 2.5. So basically, Dillian Whyte walks away with 2.5 million, and Tyson Fury 4.5. This isn't solidified. This is us just doing our
of course.
But, you know,
what I was thinking.
Look how much money Tyson Fury loses.
Yeah.
Compared to Dillian Whyte.
Yeah.
Dillian Whyte starts at 4 million, walks away at 2.5. Tyson Fury starts at 25 million and ends at 4.5.
Well, do you know what? That's one of the biggest things that I'm always surprised of when you hear about Conor McGregor's earning 100 million for the Floyd Mayweather fight. No, he's not. You take away 25% for tax, 75, another 10, another 20, another 10, here and there. He's left with 25 tops. From 100 million, if he's lucky, he's left with 25 mil. And that's one of the biggest purses or one of the biggest bags in combat sports. So, it's cool that you bring that up and you get to have a little chat about that.
With Tyson's purse, you think, like you said, that he might just be getting the 15 mil from, they might just say, right, the deal is we're going to give you 15 mil no matter what the purse bid is, whatever. You think they've said, right, 15 mil is what you're getting. Whatever's left in the pot, we get. You don't have to pay us promotional, because obviously he's supposed to get 5 by the sounds of it. But now there's 10 left if he's only getting paid 15. Does that 10 just Frank and Bob split it between them? He doesn't have to pay them any percentage out of that 15 mil.
I think that he's going to have to pay him, because I think if he's done a deal, because I think what he has is if he's having like a 4 or 5 deal, then it has to be per fight. So I don't think that this fight is going to be the percentages is going to be any different to what Frank and Bob Arum are going to get. I think that they are going to get their normal cut of the fight. But I think what's happened, I think the job that Big Frank and Bob have got to do is that they now have to do what Eddie Hearn's been able to do successfully with AJ, is look at the logistics. Like, for instance, they've got to get a state. They've got to find a site, pay a site fee. Then what's happening is that they've got to sell tickets very aggressively, and then they've got to get those pay-per-views really aggressively. The only fighter out of both fighters who've got evidence of selling out, all right, not so much big stadiums, but selling out stadiums and has a reputable pay-per-view value is Dillian Whyte, not Tyson Fury. I bet Tyson Fury fights. He doesn't sell fights. Now, it might have changed in the 8 years since I was at his last fight, or the 4 years since he's come back. But I don't think that Tyson Fury is half as marketable. It's half as marketable as AJ. And that is the biggest problem.
I agree. I feel the reason why the Dillian Whyte fight sells is half because Dillian Whyte and half because Tyson Fury is coming back for the first time, and there's a lot of his fans. Obviously, this is the first time in 5 years, 4 or 5 years he'll have fought in this country. So that's one of the reasons why. But let's not get twisted. Dillian Whyte has a massive fan base, and it probably.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably 60%.
I think that's why Tyson's keen to fight him. That's why Tyson's actually keen to fight him, because I think what's happened is that Dillian Whyte, because he's got a massive fan base from British fighters, British fight fans, because the story, we like a story. Both of them have got a great story, but Dillian Whyte's story is the fact that we've seen a geezer who's in horrible shape for the Joshua fight, fought his heart out, and he's gone on.
He's reclimbed the ladder. He's reclimbed the ladder, which rarely happens.
Yeah. And he's beaten
because he was.
I mean, what you were saying about Fury, right? Like being like more of an American pay-per-view star, right? I think Tyson Fury coming back to UK, he's either going to hit the ground running or nobody's going to want to know about him. It's either going to be one or the other. It's not as if he's going to do like average numbers. He's either going to do shocking numbers and nobody's going to care about him, or he's going to fucking come back to the UK as a superstar. And
but the thing is, I don't think you can rate this fight. If this fight sells out, I think saying Fury's a superstar because he's sold out. He's got a dance partner the same way in America, like he had Deontay Wilder, and they sold so many 100K. You've got to realize that's not because of Tyson Fury. That's a whole lot to do with Deontay Wilder as well, because
Of course,
when Fury was
just hitting
the
heavyweight.
likes of Schwartz and Otto Wallin, when he fought Schwartz and Otto Wallin in America, he didn't do nothing. Like the gate wasn't great. It wasn't great. So it's a misconception.
Well,
Tyson Fury is this massive superstar in America. He actually isn't. He's only that superstar in the last 2 fights.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Well, okay then. So if Schwartz and Wallin were both in the UK, what do you reckon those numbers would have been better or quite similar or what?
I think they'd be similar. Average, because nobody wanted to see those fights. You look at Dillian Whyte versus Joseph Parker, Dillian Whyte versus Chisora. You think Tyson Fury does them numbers and
no way
them sellouts in the UK like Dillian Whyte did? No.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. You are right.
He was never a draw here. That's the reason why.
Oh shit! It just adds to this whole fight. It's crazy.
Well, I got an example of Tyson Fury fight because 8 years ago, November. All right, it was based in November the 29th, 2014. Tyson Fury and Derek Sora the main event. But the fight before that was Chris Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm getting at?
I remember.
Son.
It was at the XL Arena, and obviously Billy Joe Saunders has got a massive traveller community from Hertfordshire coming to watch him. So they packed out the stadium, stood on the seats. Me and the wife had to push past them to get to the front. The minute that fight finished, and it was BJS had his hand up as a winner. Yeah. They all cleared, and then the main event, hardly anyone was there. This is 2014. This is Tyson Fury talking about now. Now his mate AJ, with less fight experience, has just won the Olympic gold. Every stadium he was at, he was filling them because I've been to fight. I've seen AJ fight from fighting at the O2 all the way up to Wembley. And I remember they took AJ on a tour of Scotland. Remember when he came out to the Proclaimers music? You can't do that,
that's
Tyson.
right.
Yeah. You can't do that, Tyson. Maybe it's changed now since he's won the world title, but
I don't think it's changed.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's changed because Tyson Fury's story, the story he's come back and everything. He wouldn't if he didn't go to America, his career would be over again. Because he wouldn't sell here. Okay.
Has he got a license here? Has he got a pretty spoiled license to fight
here?
He
has. That since 2020, 2019. Yeah. Can I just read the super chat? Let me just read the super chat that's been on there for ages. Sly tendencies in the building. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Massively appreciated. Hey, lady, I hope you have an admirer for Valentine's Day. I also hope Dillian stays in and we get a great fight. Much respect and love. Sly tendencies, massively appreciated. It's not Valentine's Day yet, but if you want to donate to the old girl for Valentine's Day, I'll date myself, will I? I'm a good date. I know what I like, so I think Dillian.
Bloody right, guy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, I've got a Cash App as well. That came a Cash App from Cleo Lawson sent me a Cash App like £1.50. It's not about the amount because I think from my channel to yours, US to the UK. So thanks a lot, Cleo Lawson. And also I've got a Cash App which I have to shout out AJ for dropping that $500. He dropped a $500 on a girl. He dropped 50 quid. Cash App from coming from the US and, you know, converting. You took that cash out of the kitty and gave it to your old girl. So thank you very much for the £50. I massively appreciate it. And yeah, that's where you are with the donations. Massively appreciated. Can I chime in, or is everybody? Because I just wanted to come in.
We're
Go
speculating. We're
Have
speculating.
you gone on to the next bit now? Yeah, good on ya. Have you gone into the bit where we're talking about as he pulled out and all of that?
Not yet.
Oh, you may as well get to
Not
that.
yet, not yet. No.
Well, you may as well get.
Nah,
you may as
yeah,
well
we'll
go
go
to that.
now.
As you saw, I reported that it's been
Speculation.
reported.
Who's your source? If it's
I
Dean
don't
White,
like the source. That's why I just said it's reported.
if it's
I said
Dean
it on
White,
my... No.
take a pinch of salt. Dean
It's
White.
Boxing News 24, and you know they're just rubbish. They've taken.
You know what they've done? What they've done? They've talked about the silence, and also what they've done is they've taken on kind of basically a non-interview with Dean White, because Dean White has got nothing to say, because Dean White's not part of the negotiations. The reason why Dillian Whyte is keeping quiet is because he's got an arbitration.
Oh, your Wi-Fi is going a bit
It's a
dodgy.
legal issue.
Remix.
Is that mine?
Hello?
Is it mine? Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Remix,
You went a bit robotic. You went remix. Yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry, it's me.
Remix.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that Dillian Whyte, as part of the league, the arbitration, he's not at liberty to say anything. He'd be an absolute pork chop if he said anything.
Yeah, you know? and that's the point. This is what I'm saying. But he was talking the other day, little bits and pieces. Would you not have thought? I mean, would you not have thought that you could say you'd expect him to tweet? You know, see you in the ring, you donut.
Not at all, because you know everyone knows that there's
I get you, but
yeah.
One at a time. Sorry, go ahead, Ken,
He
and then you can go.
He learned.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, go on.
No, go ahead. You guys go.
Go ahead.
Go on, ERF. You go.
Yeah, he learned from Tyson Fury. He learned from Tyson Fury last year, because Tyson Fury was talking all that about fighting Anthony Johnson, and now all this lot. He done it while he was still in arbitration, and as soon as he did it, then the arbitration the next day.
Wi-Fi's on a matters. You lots of Wi-Fi's on a madness. Use lots of Wi-Fi is on a
Wi-Fi's strong.
ERF's one's weak, man. I didn't hear nothing, bruv. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear nothing of that. It's just
No, you got earphones.
Yeah, now you're all right. Actual facts. Paul Evans in the build dizzing. Bon Scott in the build dizzing. Sorry, just shouting at everyone. Leighton in the build dizzing. Ronald Finkley in the build dizzing. So, excuse me. Thank you. Yeah. In the build dizzing. Esto Garcia, mi hermano, mi cariño. ¿Cómo estás? Cuéntame. Miss Ringside. Okay. So, go ahead. Say that again, ERF. Can you guys please hit the like? And for real, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe. Because I can see who's not subscribed and who watches all the time and not subscribed. You watch every day, but you're bloody not subscribed. Go ahead, ERF. Sorry. What do you think? Him not tweeting nothing, you're saying that's cool, basically.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Let Tyson talk. For me, just let Tyson talk.
Nah, this better not be no Deontay Wilder business where he ain't talking, because I know that Dillian Whyte can talk. And he has to come and done the place. He has to come and tell the press conference, we need to hear you talking like, yo, you blood clot. And we need to go from the depths of Jamaica. That's what he's got to do.
100%.
100, fam. You know them one, he's going to have to tell him about him popping dirty, and then Tyson Fury's going to say, well, you pop dirty as well, you bum dosser. Can you imagine? It's a madness. Like, the press conference is just going to be a total fucking...
Well, okay. I mean, look, listen. This fight sells on itself, right? But this fight does not sell $41 million, right?
Yeah,
let's say, for example, there's no dodgy manipulating of the purse bids. Let's say it's all clean. and it's straight up $41 million purse bid, right? You need both of them to fucking be going at each other for the next 3-4 weeks, like non-stop, bosh, 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 yeah? And only then can you not only sell it. Look, listen, obviously it's going to sell in the UK, yeah, of course, but you need to make it also sell in the US as well. That's how they're going to make their real money. So
you know the best way to do that. I know this is like going back in history, going back in time, but do you remember George Groves and Carl Froch? Now, if we didn't hear George Groves speak, we would have thought that was a foregone conclusion. But what George Groves did is that he put an element of doubt in Carl Froch's mind and in our mind, and he put a convincing argument that he could beat Carl Froch. So in terms of him going to that fight in Manchester, we bought the tickets, and that was a pay-per-view success. And then when Harold Foster went and stopped the fight, George Groves did it again, where he put in he put in something in Carl Froch's head that wasn't there, made him came out super confident. That was telling him, this time I'm going to hit you with the left hook. So remember the first fight, he goes, I'm going to hit you with a right hand, just one, just to let you know I can do it whenever I want to. And he actually wants to get you. So what we need in order to fight to sell and get the 41 million, we need to believe that Dillian Whyte has got a chance of winning, and he has to make us believe that.
That is such a good point. Though. Such a good point. Yeah. Well, okay.
The casuals got to think that, though.
Exactly.
They believe he's got a chance.
Yeah.
Listen,
hardcore boxing fans, we all know what Dillian Whyte's about. We all know that he could knock out anybody, right? The casuals, they're sold on this Fury fucking hype train, right? Yes. I'm not sold on it personally. I am not sold on it, right? Okay. The casuals are, and that's the difference. So yeah, really good points, man. Really good points.
ERS, what are you saying?
I've got friends who were Tyson Fury fans. I was like, Fury's going to knock him out. I was like, when have you seen Fury go out and knock people out before Deontay Wilder? When have you seen it? If 4 years ago you said Tyson Fury is going to fight Dillian Whyte, their whole reaction to it and their assessment of it, Tyson Fury will box his head off. He'll just box his head off. Now all of a sudden they're changing their minds and saying, he's going to knock him out in 2 rounds, he's going to knock him out simply because of the Deontay Wilder fight. I'm like, Dillian Whyte doesn't fight anything like Deontay Wilder. Dillian Whyte is technically so much better than Deontay Wilder, and these fans just baffle me sometimes, which I find funny. So I can't wait, and I can't wait to see Tyson Fury's reaction when he gets hit with a left hook.
Well, it's not so much the left hook. Is that what one of the reasons why Tyson Fury was able to sit on Deontay Wilder, although he made mistakes in the third fight, is that he underestimated the fact that Deontay Wilder wasn't going to come back at him in the inside, and a good inside fighter. Now he can't go down. He can't do that anti-Joshua. Well, Femi, because there's two anti-Joshuas for me. There's Femi from Watford, and there's this anti-Joshua who's scared of getting hit in the businessman. You know what I mean? And I think with Dillian's probably one of the, in terms of out of the top 10, he's probably the most effective inside fighters who won't be bullied by Tyson Fury, who will probably bully Tyson Fury. And then in order to set up the left hook, it's got to be a situation where it's the body shots, shoulder in, and then in off the right hand, and then he sets it up. And I think that Tyson Fury may want to fight him at long range because he doesn't want to go inside fight. Because
that's right.
I think Fury has to fight him at long range. I think he has to. He has to.
Yeah.
He has to fight him at long range.
Well,
I can't. I don't believe Tyson Fury can go inside with Dillian Whyte.
Yeah. That's it. I think Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte are two completely different fighters on the inside. I mean, it's night and day. I mean, if Fury's going to adopt the same strategy, like take him on the inside, try roughing him up, and then put him back on the outside, and then go back on the inside, and then go back on the outside, right? Dillian Whyte's going to rough him up to the point where he's going to catch him at some point. And honestly, like I've made a prediction across a whole bunch of channels, and I know nobody's going to agree with me, but I believe that if Tyson Fury adopts a similar strategy to the Wilder fights, now White is going to stop him in the mid rounds with like work in the inside, and then he's gonna finish him with bombs in the mid rounds, 6, 7, 8. And that's my prediction.
I believe it. If Tyson Fury in the third Deontay Wilder fights Dillian Whyte, he loses. The only reason why that fight went 11 rounds is because Fury was unfit and was terrible in that fight. It was such a fight of the year. It was only the fight of the year because Tyson Fury was shocking in that fight. He was terrible. One of his worst performances.
It was.
The one weakness that Dillian Whyte has got.
I just respect his recovery.
Joshua, when he beat him, was the uppercut that finished him off. We're all not happy with Povetkin.
Yeah.
So what happens with Dillian Whyte as well is that you know what's happened, right? That head, he's got to keep that head in such and keep the distances. Because you look at where we're on the Rivas when he came inside fighting, Dillian Whyte's head was all wrong. So Rivas, when he put him down, it was the uppercut. And then Anthony Joshua, when he got him on the ropes and Dillian Whyte was tied, it was Dillian Whyte's head down. Oh, there you go. Uppercut, and that was the end of the fight. So Tyson Fury, if he goes inside, White's head's like that, then that can hurt White, the uppercut. So Dillian Whyte has got to keep his situation where his head's a bit high. So Tyson Fury has to go like that. But if he goes under, that's like that for Dillian Whyte.
Game over.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Let me read this super chat real quick.
Yeah, go on.
Leighton Evelyn, thank you for the super chat. 4.49, massively appreciated. Why does Dillian need to promote this fight? All he would do is make money for Bob and Frank. White gets his guarantee no matter what. 20% of $41 million. Yeah.
Dillian Whyte won't get his money.
I get that, but I like the promotion.
Yeah, he's got to promote it. He's got to. We need to see that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Tony had. What was Tony's?
Dillian Whyte.
Go ahead. I'm searching. Go ahead, ER.
Nah, Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury just talking shit to each other will be entertaining. So
I'm
looking forward to that.
It's
that. If Dillian Whyte's just sitting around,
I want to see a gloves are off. I want to see a gloves are off with him. Some version of gloves are off.
Oh, they're I reckon they'll brawl inside.
Yeah.
Before they get to the fight. There's footage of Dillian Whyte stating this, saying.
Well, Dillian Whyte's a road man, isn't he?
He said he can call me. Yeah, he said he can call me bum dosser on the internet all he wants, but when it's to my face, it's the next thing. It's the next one. You get me? He just can't come with that rubbish. You get me? So, Tony's review. You had a good. What was you saying? I've got to find it. The chat is very busy, so guys, I literally can't get through to all your chats because there's a lot. But Tony's had something to say, but I can't find it. Respect to the chat, you lot are all busy, and I love it. So
you set me on to Simbin like you did last week.
What'd you say, Ken?
You sent
one
bloke to Simbin last week.
I said what?
You sent one bloke to Simbin last week.
I sent one. Yeah, he got sent to Coventry, didn't he?
No, to Simbin.
Simbin. What's Simbin? Yeah. What's the Simbin? Simbin. The Simbin.
Rugby. You know rugby league and right thing. You get 10 minutes in the Simbin, isn't it? A yellow card.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Simbin.
The Simbin. He got sent to the Simbin, and I set it on fire. He got cremated, didn't he? LadyChann done the season. I honestly think White is going to take the fight, but not say shit the entire time. He's going to make this a PPV flop and not do Frank any favours promoting the fight. Could do that. Could do that. As fight fans, I don't want to see that.
Nah, I don't think Dillian can sit there and do that, though.
I don't know if he can. Yeah, other side. Because he condemned Wilder for not saying nothing. So that would be hypocrisy, to be honest. And if he pulls out of this fight, then I'll have to sing "Victorious We Are." He is. He is victorious.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to reverse the lyrics that one, because you were singing that about Fury. And
Yeah,
now you're
I
going to have
know,
to start
so
singing it about White.
Yeah, I keep it fair. Whoever's victorious, they're victorious. Do you know what I mean? If he pulls out this fight for whatever reason, it's victorious. Whoever pulls out of
Well,
this fight,
have you given like an opinion on like why the radio silence? I mean, it's not just White though, is it? It's the whole of like Matchroom. Like nobody's come out and said anything.
Eddie has said nada.
It's weird. I just don't get it.
Weird.
What I find funny about it. What I find funny about it is when the Tyson Fury and Joshua thing was going, and Eddie was giving updates every 5 minutes, giving updates after updates. Frank and Bob was fuming with him. Frank and Bob was like, nah, Eddie keeps talking. He shouldn't be talking. This, that. Now nobody's saying nothing.
You know,
it's
the
a total opposite to last summer.
You know, the big thing in the room is that even though he's not involved in this, what seems to have slipped everyone's radar is the fact that Anthony Joshua has proved by asking for more money, step aside money, is that he doesn't want the Usyk fight. He doesn't think he's ready for it, and
I don't agree. Because he's just priced himself out.
I look at it the other way.
I look at it the other way. He's just priced himself out.
I know you, LadyChann.
Why was he asking for? Why is he asking for?
Well, he didn't ask for anything. They offered.
He didn't ask for anything.
They offered. And he said,
if
you're going to give me anything, then 15 million ain't the thing.
Nah,
that's
give me 20.
You know, come with the next offer. If you can't come with the next offer that I see.
Bob Arum, right, has said that is the only one out of the AJ HEARN camp that said that the rematch is going to be in June. I've heard nothing from AJ. All I'm hearing from AJ since he's lost is I'm going to go around and find myself and see which train I'm going to get. Well, it's been nearly 4 months. Why haven't you done it yet? If you're
How do we know? How do we know that he ain't?
We don't know that he ain't.
How do we know that he ain't?
We don't know. But yeah, but we need to know that.
We don't need no mass announcement.
We don't need to know that.
We don't need a crown prayer.
What boxing fans need from AJ is that we need some sort of. We need some sort of.
We need that. He don't need to tell us.
No, he has to do what he needs. Because when he was doing what we needed, he lost.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I look at it this way.
Well, fair enough.
If someone comes to me, if I don't want to sell my house, and someone comes to me and gives me and says, "Oh, I'll give you this," I'll be like, "Nah, I don't want to sell it." There's like, "I'll give you this." Right? I'll tell you what. Give me an extra this much, and you can have it. I know you ain't gonna give me that. I know you ain't gonna give me that.
So I'm pricing myself out.
Come and give me this. If you can give me this, then
what I'm saying is I'm keeping my eye on AJ because I'm not hearing much from him as well. Because you know what's happening right now.
It's not his business. It's not his fight no more.
I know it's not his business.
He has come out and said something. Do you know what he come out and said? Fair play to. He said congratulations to Dillian Whyte.
I'm not talking about that.
Even though we're enemies, I rate you for for getting your money.
I'm not talking about that. What? Because the other day, everyone seems like by this time if you talk about June, July 2021, all we heard about was the Undisputed, and then all of a sudden, because it was the Undisputed, and then what was happening was Joyce was meant to fight Usyk, and all of a sudden, when it went down arbitration, and Wilder, rightly so, won his arbitration case, it became Usyk versus Joshua. But so and what was happening is that we're going to have both. So basically, we had two semi-finals: Wilder versus Fury, Usyk versus Joshua, and then what was happening? We're going to have like the World Cup final or the FA Cup final, Fury versus Joshua. Then all of a sudden, Joshua slipped in a rematch clause, which would be a fool not to do. So Fury's won his final, and then Anthony Joshua was going to fight for his semi-final, but he lost his semi-final, so he's now having a replay. So all I'm trying to say, right, is that are we going to have a conclusion by December 2021 or January 2021?
What I will say to that is Tyson Fury had 30 days after Usyk won the belt. After Usyk won the belts, he had 30 days to talk to Usyk. He didn't speak a word to Usyk in those 30 days. All of a sudden, now they said to him, you have to You have to fight Dillian Whyte. If in those 30 days, if you don't come up with a deal, the WBC actually gave him an option saying 30 days. If you strike a deal in those 30 days with Usyk, you don't have to fight Dillian Whyte next. They didn't do nothing. These 30 days come up, finished. Now you want to try and say, oh, I want to fight Usyk now. I want to do this. No, you've got to fight Dillian Whyte. They gave you 30 days. They gave you 30 days you should have even had. He should have even had those 30 days.
Like you lost all the belts. You gave it back to the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh, the last I checked, you got stripped by the IBF and vacated.
He never defended any of them belts.
Others that you had.
He never
and
defended
Joshua
any
came
of
and
those
collected
belts.
them. So if Joshua collected them, it's his business if he lost them. It's none of your business.
What I will say is he never brought any of those belts back to the UK because he never defended them in the UK.
He never did.
Though. He got stripped.
The other day. So
yeah, because wasn't his rematch? Wasn't his rematch with Klitschko going to be in Germany again? Yeah, because
it was in Manchester. No, it was in Manchester.
Manchester Arena.
Yeah, it was in Manchester Arena.
By that time, Tyson Fury was a bit of a pariah because of his point of view.
Yeah, but that's his own fault. Listen, he can't say nothing. He can't say nothing about AJ and one minute he's saying AJ don't want to fight Usyk and he should step aside. When he don't step aside, he's saying, "Oh, you lost your 90 million or whatever rubbish he's saying."
Rubbish.
Listen,
just chatting rubbish.
AJ's taking his rematches. Tyson Fury refused to take rematches.
Yeah, we know
the only rematches he took is the ones he knew he'd win.
Where he was forced to in arbitration, forced.
Yeah,
the other one, do you know what I mean? If he's not forced, he don't do nothing that he don't want to do. He has his own rules in boxing.
Yeah, I saw a really funny comment that said, could you imagine Joshua knocks out Usyk, White knocks out Fury, and we got Joshua versus White 2 for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world at Wembley Stadium. I mean,
I love that.
What a circle that would be. That would be fucking incredible. Incredible, by the way.
I'd love it that way.
Yeah, I would as well. I think that'd be amazing.
Because then we wouldn't have
two bad boys. Like, oh mate, that'd be classic.
Be a rematch between the two guys that were a prospect. That would be amazing. We'd have no confusion with Tyson Dickhead Fury. He can go along because now you can't use AJ as your payday because between White and AJ, they'll be undisputed. Don't need you, Tyson Fury. Don't need you, Deontay Wilder. Yeah. And fair play to you, Alexander Usyk. I've got nothing bad to say about the geezer because I absolutely do like the geezer. But you'd be out of the equation too.
Which TV station gets the right? Which TV station?
Well, it's got to be DAZN, isn't it? It's got to be DAZN. Or Sky Sports. DAZN or Sky Sports.
I think it.
It'll be DAZN
with Sky Sports because that's kind of who the two lads are kind of aligned with, aren't they? So
Dillian Whyte and Joshua for Undisputed would be DAZN pay-per-view.
Yeah, DAZN
pay-per-view.
Let me read the super chat. Hang on. Let me read the super chat. Let me read the super chat. Miss Ringside VIP, thank you, girl, for dropping that quarter of a deserve on you, girl. £449. We in the UK. Who do you think will represent White at the press conference? The build-up needs to be fire. Big up, LadyChann, enjoying your channel. And thank you, I enjoy you as well, because you always are supporting in the comments. If you've got a channel, let me know, because you can promote your channel. And if you're available and you come on panels, you're more than welcome, sis, to come on my panel any time of the day. It's always nice to see ladies in the sport. So, hang on, there's someone else entering the build, Dizzin. Oh, there you are, and there you are, King Sheldon.
My sister, how you doing?
My God, how have I missed you?
I missed you more. COVID almost took me out, girl.
I thought it was because remember you checked on me. You was like, Shan, are you all right? I was like, yeah, Shell, I'm all right. Don't worry. He was like, let me know, you COVID. Then I heard you got it.
Man, I went to that fucking Raider game the last week of the season. And why did I do that?
I tell you, Americans, you lot don't listen. You lot think COVID don't exist. In the UK, like a lot of us, we tend to stay inside a lot more.
But see, what happened to me, Chan, was this. I'm vaccinated, right?
Yeah, so did my mum. She didn't get it though.
I'm vaccinated. And to get into Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, you have to show proof of vaccination.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I didn't think about the fact that motherfuckers get fake vaccination cards.
Yeah, they do. So that means people are walking around with COVID at these events.
Exactly.
And the Omicron is so easy to catch. You know. So yeah, but I'm so glad you're better, and I'm so glad you're back in the building. And we've got
what y'all talking about?
And we've got Tony's reviews back in the building. Tony had COVID as well. He's just getting over it now himself.
Yeah, I think Tony got COVID. You got COVID, Tony?
Yeah, he's just getting over it.
Yeah. You know I'm positive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Me and Tony are always in at the same time.
You talking about the Jesus fucking Fury, huh?
No, listen. I just let's talk about, does this fight make money? Does Frank and them lot make back their money? Because let's
in the UK, of course, that fight is massive over there.
It's
over
massive
here, not so much.
No, it's not over there. But Frank, but Bob Arum, you know, he's just such a little lying little fossil little dinosaur, right? I don't know when he's going to be extinct. Like, he's outlived the dinosaurs and everything, mate. I'm counting out how many summers this geezer's got left, and he's getting on my nerves every time I see him on the telly. I'm like, mate, you got 2 summers left. You better make the most of it. Imagine I say that.
No time soon.
Well, how much? He's saying in the States that this does 500,000 PPVs. No, it don't.
Crazy.
He's mad. It does.
That's crazy.
We've got two of our American families on the panel. Guys, Shelton first, and then we'll go to Tony. How many PPVs do you think this sells in the US?
200, maybe 250. Lucky.
250K. And Tony, how many do you think?
It depends. It all depends. It's
and
all
be subjective, not because you like Dillian Whyte.
No. Listen. If I was Dillian Whyte, I wouldn't say shit. I wouldn't sell shit. Because I'm already guaranteed my money. You want to give me 20%? That's cool. I want to make sure you lose all that $41 million. That's what I would be.
Yeah,
doing.
we go to our petty bag, don't we? Yeah, I'm down with it. I don't mind it in that way. When you look at it like that way, fuck it.
But if he sells the fight, and him and Tyson Fury sit down at a table across from each other, the highlight reel is going to be out of this world. And America loves shit talkers, and it could sell very well over here. It really could.
So how many do you think? If
Dillian Whyte does nothing, I say that this will be lucky to do 100,000 views. If he lets the shit fly, then I would say I could see 300 to 500,000.
Wow.
And it also depends on the price point too. If they sell if it's $100 pay-per-view, it won't sell at all.
No, it won't be
like
I doubt it will.
Pay-per-view, it'll sell.
Maybe 50. Yeah, I think it'd probably be a $50. For us, it will be 25 quid, wouldn't it, guys?
Yeah, 25 quid. Yeah, 25 quid for BT.
Which is $35. We'll have it on Sky and BT. We can pick which one we want to watch it on.
Is it on Sky? Is it going to be on Sky?
Yeah, Sky's bought it.
Trying to give us
Sky
dollars.
Say that thing, Shell.
You talking about a place that's Sturman versus Barrios for $80?
Yeah. So do you think this? So
crazy.
Do you think
that isn't ESPN though? Yeah, but that isn't. That's ESPN. ESPN is smarter.
That's Al Heyman, isn't it? That's PBC.
Yeah, Bobby.
You know,
Bob knows that ain't doing
pro bullshit company.
I'm gonna say this: my prediction on the Mario Barrios Thurman sales, I think they're gonna sell 12 pay-per-views.
And that will be us on the panel that has bought it. We're the 12. We'll be like,
30 old man.
That's just gonna do worse. It's gonna do worse than Ortiz and Martin. Worse than that.
So, all right. So, how does this money? So, let's do the mathematics then of this. How many do you reckon this sells in the UK? Because they're trying to project that it's up to 1 million PPVs.
I can see it though. I can see that.
I can see
Huge over there. Am I right or wrong?
Well,
say that again.
Dillian Whyte is huge. UK. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, he's huge. He
You're
sells.
right.
He
From
puts
my
gold in
understanding, Fury's a non-factor in the UK though.
But maybe he's garnered a few. I would say he's probably garnered a few more fans to sit in the seat now since his activity, since the Deontay Wilder thing. I'm not saying that he puts more bums in seats than Dillian Whyte, and that is the reason why Dillian Whyte should have been entitled up to fucking 45%, because without Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury wouldn't be getting his biggest payday to date. I don't.
I think Fury on his own is not a good UK pay-per-view. But Fury against a good dance partner like Dillian Whyte is a fucking good pay-per-view.
Yeah, Fury depends on his dance partner. And
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this is like.
And he's got one.
I said this
And he's got one.
The Fury fanboys are the same as Deontay Wilder fanboys. All they do is stay in your comments, right? But then when the fight's on, they don't buy a fucking thing. They don't. If they got out of my comments and actually bought a ticket, their fighters would absolutely sell out. But they just decide to stay in everybody's comments, trolling and being super wet, moist pieces of tissues in comment sections.
Tyson Fury is more or less a non-factor in this fight, really, as in for buys, simply because Dillian Whyte with anybody else sells out anyway, and he does quite good pay-per-view numbers when he was on Sky Sports. So Tyson Fury coming back, I think maybe I'd give him 20%. I'd give him 20% of what he helps to sell it, but. I think with the fact that Dillian Whyte finally getting his title shot, a lot of people are behind that. A lot of people are behind seeing what Dillian Whyte can actually do in the ring with someone of Tyson Fury's class. So yeah, it sells. I think it does, Emil. I think it does.
Well, it also depends where you stage the fight, right? If you stage the fight up in Manchester, it's going to sell, right? Because that's his. Because the gypsies are going to come out, they're going to sell out the arena. If you put it down London, all Dillian Whyte boys are going to come out.
There's going to be arses and seats for sure.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I'm going to restate. I'm going to restate. If I was Dillian Whyte, I would not talk. I would not tweet. I would not do anything but accept the fight. I would make sure that they lose every fucking dollar that they're trying to make because of the percentage.
Nah, do you know what?
That's what I would do.
Do you know what? I don't agree with that.
Let me tell you something. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant because at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte's going to make close to $8 million. I think they said it's $7-point-something million. And if he wins, he gets 10%, another $4 million on top, right? So just hear me out. So that's $11 million right there, right? This fight is irrelevant. If he wins it, the money that he makes from this will be like a drop in the bucket compared to what he'll make for Undisputed. So he doesn't need to make back-end money for this fight. Just make the fight flop, whoop Fury's ass, make Frank Warren go bankrupt at the same time, and then go on and fight AJ or Usyk.
Yeah, you could do it that way. I'm not.
That's not why I think Dillian Whyte and Eddie Hearn are all of a sudden radio silent. I think there's another reason for that.
They're waiting for the arbitration.
Yeah, well, I think there could even be something else. I think there could even be something else.
Maybe they're just not happy with the split, and they think that the arbitrator, who's supposedly ruling in March, so that's a month before the fight happens.
Yeah, that's mad, by the way.
I think they may be silent until the arbitration, in my opinion. And then
I don't know.
There's no point of getting hyped up over a percentage that could change. At the bare minimum, he walks away with $7 million, $7.5 million.
If this fight's going to happen, which I think it will happen, Dillian Whyte can't stay radio. Dillian Whyte needs animosity.
No, I don't think he's going to stay radio silent throughout the whole promotion of the fight. What I'm saying is, I think we're not going to hear from him until they know what the arbitrator is ruling.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then you'll hear him all come out, because I think they don't want to be libelous for anything and because remember, Eddie Hearn has gone through all of this already with Tyson Fury, doing all that shit, and he was talking, and then
that's right.
and Bob Arum blamed him for, because you was talking so much, the arbitrator ruled against you, basically, and that's why he did the Wilder fight. So Eddie Hearn's going to be like, all right, I ain't saying nothing, bitch. I ain't saying nothing. We'll wait for this arbitrator. So when the ruling comes out, you can't say I swayed it or I fucked it up. That's what I think. Bob Arum puts his little old crusty foot in his mouth all the time, doesn't he? So annoying. It's so annoying. Let's read what the Truth UK says. He will make and look like an amateur. Tyson Fury will fight them all. Laughing emoji. AJ is a hype job. Beat twice. Fury was nearly 30 stone. Changed his life. Now he's going to get all his belts back. So we've got a Fury fanboy in the building. Yeah. I welcome. I knew
Part y'all forget. This is one thing that you guys forget.
All them Fury fanboys are going to be very upset after this fight happens. Fury's going to get knocked out.
None of this stuff is going to matter because ain't none of them beating Usyk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, listen.
Fury,
you ain't got to be a Fury fanboy, right? To appreciate the fact that he lost a load of weight and he come back.
No. You don't have to be a Fury fanboy for that. Like,
exactly.
I give him props and respect for the stuff that he has done. But what he's saying, this geezer, you can tell he's the hater, because he's saying, like, Fury beat them all. Well, let's see when he fights them all, mate. Because so far, he ain't fought no one. Let's just have it right.
Lady Chann, I love that he wrote AJ's a hype job, because AJ knocked out Dillian Whyte. And when Dillian Whyte knocks out Tyson Fury like he's going to do, then what the fuck is Tyson Fury going to be?
AJ is not a hype job.
Because he lost twice, he's a hype job. Because he's lost to arguably top 5 pound for pound undefeated fighter, he's a hype job. Like, mate, let's have it right. He got beat by Andy Ruiz. He rectified that within 6 months. Like,
that's my thing. That's my thing. People seem to forget that there was 2 fights with Andy Ruiz. Like, he got beat by Andy Ruiz. Yeah, he also beat him. So what do you want him to do?
Whether you like it or not, AJ's got the best resume out of this entire era of this heavyweight division. And that's, I'm not being funny, but
you know what's funny about it? Listen. What's so funny about it is there's another heavyweight champion from the UK who some people consider one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, who was undisputed. I don't really know if he's British or Canadian, but Lennox Lewis got his ass knocked the fuck out, lost twice, but yet he's considered one of the greatest, and AJ's a hype job.
Exactly, Tony.
This is what I tell people. I say to people, someone said to me, if AJ loses, his brand goes down the bin. It goes down the pan. I said, is Lennox Lewis a Hall of Famer? They're like, yeah. I said, he lost twice as well. One to a nobody and one to another geezer that both didn't have any really much of a resume, to be honest. So is he not an all-time great? Is he not in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. So why is that different from AJ? Like, people need to put respect on his name. It's not about fangirling or fanboying. It's just about fucking facts is facts. What fighter? He is a 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson Fury has never been that. But he's deemed as the best heavyweight in the era. Tyson Fury's never did, not 2 times unified. No, he's never. Tyson Fury's popped dirty. I have to let these people know. Tyson Fury's popped dirty twice. On coke, yeah? Let's have it right. No true sportsmanship. No respect steroids. No respect for the sport. But he's your best all-time heavyweight in this era. You guys make me laugh. You guys make
here's what's so funny.
You guys make me want to be the girl in Exorcist where my head spins around and I projectile vomit on all of you. That's what I want to be able to do. Because you lot are just fucking sickening.
What I find funny is when none of these Tyson Fury fans or anyone mentions him not taking the Vlad rematch, but they're quick to say AJ don't want to fight Usyk. Usyk's gonna knock him out. This and that. Like, at least AJ may get knocked out by Usyk. He may go in there and get beat by Usyk, but he took the fight. Tyson Fury beat the man. He had an obligation to rematch him, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He does this every time he has to fight someone, and they tell him you have to fight someone. He doesn't want to do it. Tyson Fury has pulled out the
check this out.
fights.
Not only did he not do it, but his greatest win was Klitschko, which he popped dirty in the damn fight.
Yeah.
Truth be told, he shouldn't even have a win on his record for that fight, being that he was dirty as fuck for the fight.
So for me, that win is questionable. For me, that win's got an asterisk near it. Because
the eliminator, right? And the eliminator against Christian Hammer. He should have the eliminator. He shouldn't even have won that eliminator or given the win in the end, because he popped dirty after that for Angelo. And that was the eliminator to fight.
Basically, Fury ain't fought no one. Let's have it right. He ain't fought no one, guys.
So let me ask you this question.
You can still be a fan, but just tell the truth to yourself. You can say, I like Tyson Fury. I like that he beat. He's handling mental health. He's come back from being 400 pounds. You can acknowledge that. But please acknowledge the other bits that really, when you look at this dude's resume, it's non-existent. And I know Shelton says resumes don't win fights, but what I'm saying is, if you're here to create a legacy and your resume is your curriculum vitae, it is your CV, you won't get into the Hall of Fame by fighting because you fought Klitschko. You might do, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because anybody else, you've just beaten Wilder 3 times. Your resume's whack.
Well, LadyChann, you say resumes don't win fights, but when Dillian Whyte sparks his ass and Dillian Whyte has a better resume than Tyson Fury, you're going to see that resumes do matter.
I say resumes matter. It's just that.
I say they don't. But let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Who's heavyweight in the world right now, in the panel's opinion?
Well, I put Tyson Fury. He's the number 1 heavyweight. I put him as the number 1 heavyweight. But do I think if I had to do it by stats and resume and who's fought the best level of competition, I would have to put AJ at number 1. But we're doing it the way that it's supposed to be done. Tyson Fury's undefeated. He's the number 1 heavyweight. He's number 1.
No, but my thing is, I find it's one of those where I think Usyk has a better claim, simply because he beat the better heavyweight out of the 2 you could fight. Because Usyk beat a unified champion.
Undefeated. You're depending on how you're doing the list.
Yeah. Fury had a draw with Wilder, and then he had a chance to fight the same fighter 2 more times, which gives him a better chance of beating him every single time he fights him. So he'd already been in the ring with him once. He had a draw. It gives him a better chance of winning the rematch. He won the rematch. If you beat somebody and knock them out in the 7th round, there's a high possibility you're going to do it a 3rd time.
Of course
so let me add
one second. Usyk went in there against a unified champion in Anthony Joshua, who's a bigger man than him, a bigger hitter than him, a stronger man than him, and he outboxed him. And he beat him to the punch near enough every single time. So I believe Usyk's probably is the best heavyweight right now.
So I'm going to add to that real fast. So I always used to say that Tyson Fury's number 1 because he beat Klitschko, and I never really rated Deontay Wilder that high. He's always been a question mark to me because I haven't seen him fight enough top 10 fighters to know how good or how bad he is. But here's what I look at with Tyson Fury when I really think about it. Tyson Fury's 2 best wins is Klitschko and Derek Chisora. That's it, okay?
And
now, here's what I know. Chisora was beat by Usyk in his 2nd fight at heavyweight, okay? Then Usyk beat AJ, who beat Klitschko, just like Tyson Fury beat Klitschko as well. So if I really look at it, and knowing that Usyk's already been undisputed, I'm leaning more towards right now that Usyk is the number 1 guy at heavyweight.
Okay, can I say something?
But the only reason why I wouldn't put Usyk, you could do. I get that logic, But because Usyk hasn't been a career heavyweight, I'd still have to put Anthony Joshua. It still be questionable that Anthony Joshua has fought. Still, he's a career heavyweight, so he's fought all of that. He's taken people's O's 4 times. So I'd have to still put Anthony Joshua as number 1 in that, and then Usyk at 2. But then, saying what you said, yes, you could put Usyk at number 1 and Joshua at 2, or I get it either way. I wouldn't be mad at it either way. Joshua 1 or Joshua 2, Usyk 1 or Usyk 2. I'm not mad at it, to be honest.
But also, hey, hello, how you doing?
Byron.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, to challenge my brother's logic at the bottom right. Okay, if you go by your logic by one being unified.
Say his name. What's his name? The banner's off. What's his name? Who's bottom right?
I can barely. I'm sorry, I can barely see it on my phone. What is this, sir?
ERF boxing.
Yeah, it'll be me. It'll be me.
You're ERF.
My man. Yo, bro. Okay, here's a simple question, really quick to it. Who do you think was better, Vitaly or Vladimir?
I liked Vitaly. I like Vitaly.
Huh?
Vitaly was better.
I like Vitaly.
Okay.
Vitaly was
Boom. There you go. Vitaly was better, but yet Vitaly only had 1 belt. Yet Vladimir was a unified champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean,
hold up. Vitaly was better. So what I'm saying. So hold up. My point is the number of belts that you have is irrelevant.
Yeah, it is.
No, but what
I don't know if I agree with Vitaly being better.
No, I don't think. I know what you're saying, but no, it's not irrelevant. It's just depending on how you got them. It's how you got them that makes the relevance.
Vitaly was better than Vladimir.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
And that's up for debate. Not everyone says Vitaly is better than Vladimir. Some people are
the majority.
Do you know why they say that, LadyChann? You know why they say that? Because Vitaly retired early in his career. He never had a full career like Vladimir. Nor did Vitaly ever clear out an entire heavyweight division like Vladimir did after Vitaly retired.
They say that because he was better, bro.
I like him.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's keep it.
Let me repeat it.
Vladimir has beat more top tier guys than Vitaly ever did.
Vitaly was the dog, and everybody knows that. He was a monster.
Exactly.
He was
exactly.
It don't matter. When you look at record accolades, who they beat, Vladimir beat more top tier fighters than Vitaly did. It's irrelevant.
Tony's reviews is something else.
No, I'm just speaking a fact. I'm telling you a fact. I'm telling you a fact.
Tony,
the fact is, Vladimir beat more top guys than Vitaly did. He fought more top guys than Vitaly did. Vitaly ended his career early. Vladimir continued to go on to be the most dominant heavyweight.
Them guys wasn't shit.
I don't know
it. Them guys wasn't shit, and you know it.
Let me tell you something right now. Samuel, no. You say those guys wasn't shit. Well, let's really look at it.
Ariola wasn't shit.
No. Show. This is what I don't understand. You say those guys wasn't shit from their era. However, you had old ass Pulev who remained undefeated until he fought AJ at the number 1 spot his entire career, only to lose to Vladimir and AJ. Then you look at fucking Povetkin, who remained at the very fucking top, old as shit. Remained there, knocked out Dillian Whyte with 1 punch, and Vladimir beat his ass easily. Then you look at guys. I mean, there's so many old men that are still from the Klitschko era that are still fighting today. Look at fucking like Areola. Like, come on, my dude. Like, them dudes are a lot better than what they get credit for.
Tony review. Hey, Tony, we all are saying, come on, my dude, because all of us agree that Vitaly is better besides you.
I'm saying his career was cut
short. I will say this.
That's what we're saying.
Vitaly
what I'm saying is he didn't fight long enough to make that claim. Like he could have lost the next 10 fights, but he retired.
We all can see that he was better, bro. Yeah, he did.
How did he clear out a division like his brother?
The eye test tells you Vitaly was better.
Eye test don't mean
Vladimir's
shit.
resume
You know what the eye
ended
test
in
told
defeat.
everybody? Hold on, let me say this.
Tony, one
The
second.
eye test
Tony,
told me shit because
one second.
everybody
I'm
said
agreeing with you.
Berlanga's
I'm
the
agreeing
next
with you.
fucking Mike Tyson. Berlanga.
Can
The minute
you
he stepped up to
speak
fucking
one at a
outrageous knockout
time?
stop.
One
Like, get the fuck out of here with the eye test. It's about resume. It's
Yo,
about
yo,
who
yo,
you
Tony.
beat.
Tony,
Period.
Tony.
Hold on, this is my panel.
Tony, I'm
I
agreeing
will
with
be
you.
respected. I will not be
1 minute.
outspoken by none of
Yeah.
you.
No, you're not. Don't bow down because you
Yeah,
talk
well,
too
then
much.
wait when I speak, because everybody is speaking over each other, and nobody that's listening to the show can understand what you lot are fucking saying. So have respect. We will have parliamentary order here, because this is a British channel and we go by the Parliament here. We ain't going by Donald Trump, fucking all you actors that run fucking the United States. Arnold Schwarzenegger. We don't go with that. It's parliamentary procedure here, right? So, one at a time, who is going first?
I'm going.
Yeah,
I'm
let
going.
me just tell this.
I'm going first. I'm going first.
Let Shelton go first.
Let the bottom bro go. Let the bro go right there. Go ahead, man.
Shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. Vitaly could not clear out the division because he.
Shelton, your audio is bad.
Brother. He would not fight his brother. His brother would not fight him. That's why he couldn't clear out the division. They would fight each other.
Who reigned longer as a champion, Vitaly or Vladimir?
I was saying.
Okay. Vladimir.
Now that 41-1. He was 40.
At the end of the
Who reigned longer?
Vladimir. So, and what?
Who beat more top fighters?
Stop it.
Tony,
And
you
what?
can like
So
Tony.
what?
Tony, you can like Vlad. Nobody's trying to make you not like him, bruv. But you're gonna have to respect that we like Vitaly.
I hear what you're saying, Lady Chan,
Right.
but this
There
is
you
the same
go,
argument that people try to make with
Let
Deontay
me
Wilder,
go.
talking about he's the hardest puncher ever because he beat a bunch of fucking bums. No,
Has
at the
nothing
end
to
of
do
the
with
day,
Vitaly and
at the end of the day, if you don't beat the top guys or you don't beat more top guys than another guy, you're not better than him. You're unproven.
Right. Can I say that? Can I
Sorry,
go
Tony.
now?
We don't agree. Sorry, Tony.
Can I go?
I bet you think Deontay Wilder's the hardest puncher ever, too.
You need to watch my videos, Tony.
Right, Tony. I was actually agreeing with you that Vlad's resume is better than Vitaly. I just preferred Vitaly. When they both was fighting, I thought Vitaly was the better fighter.
Absolutely.
Secondly, the point of saying who was better, Vitaly or Vlad, has no relevance to me saying Usyk beat the better fighter in Joshua versus and Wilder, because who's the better fighter? I'll ask you, Myron, who's the better fighter, AJ or Wilder?
AJ.
So what was the relevance in the question? Usyk beat the better heavyweight then. That was my point. Usyk beat the better heavyweight.
No. My point was a counter on your logic that AJ was better than Fury just because he had more belts.
No, I never said that. I never said that.
No, but that was what. Yes, it was what you said.
Myron.
My man, hey,
No,
my man up top of the red. Hey, hold on.
One second.
Okay. Hey, me and you don't have to argue. My man up top in the red, brother. I don't know your name, champ. You go ahead and repeat and go ahead and clarify what was said to my point to what he made, because you was there listening and you up there laughing because I know you know what the goods.
I know what I said though. I said that Usyk beat the better heavyweight
based off because he was unified champion. You said because he was unified champion. And my point was that who got the most belts doesn't make you the best heavyweight.
Myron, let me ask you a question.
Both agree, Myron, we both agree that AJ is the better heavyweight out of him and Wilder. So the belts is irrelevant.
Out of him and Wilder, but not Fury. Out of him and Wilder, not Fury.
I never mentioned Fury.
He did not mention
comparison
Fury.
I made with Fury. The only comparison I made with Fury was that I think Usyk is the better heavyweight. For me, number one heavyweight instead of Fury, simply because out of the two, Usyk beat the better heavyweight than Fury did. That's the only comparison I made. I did not say AJ was better than Fury. I did not say that.
So Myron,
Myron,
question, just answer me this. Why is AJ better than Wilder?
It's about a slight margin.
But why?
But I believe why I gave AJ the credit over Wilder because AJ showed a bit more ability to adapt, a bit more. I mean, he was more a better learner as well. He was more open to learning and adding on, whereas Wilder was more closed-minded, okay, and not receptive to learning how to get better. That's the only margin between them. If Wilder was more open, let me finish. If Wilder was more open and more easily, more teachable, I should say, and more receptive to learning, I believe overall skill-wise, he could be. His upside is bigger than AJ's.
So I'm gonna stick with your logic now. You said that AJ is better than Wilder because he looked like he could learn more, that he was more adept to learning. Okay, hold on. Emmanuel Stewart said that Vladimir was the better of the two when it comes to teaching.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he was naturally better.
See, there it is. So your own logic don't make logic. Like what?
No,
what
I
are we
just said
talking about here?
Bullshit. Didn't I just say Wilder was a natural better if he was able to receive teaching?
If.
No,
That's
ain't better.
No. Listen, Michael. You said if he was able to do better teaching,
it's
or
garbage.
receive better teaching, he would be better. But Myron, listen to what I'm saying. Emmanuel Stewart literally said Vladimir learned better than Vitaly. So if it goes off of who can be taught the best, then by your own logic, Vladimir is better.
No, it's not by that logic.
That's your logic.
Because Vladimir, you're still dealing with levels of ability of all four different men, and the levels of ability is different.
Bro, I'm
Vladimir,
done.
vitality is better than all of them. Your logic is flawed, bro.
I'm done.
I know you are because you're a fool. Your logic don't make
I'm not being funny, but
has
the whole debate gone a bit sideways? I thought we were talking about Dillian Whyte and Fury and shit like that.
Let me say this. My apologies. The only way your logic makes sense is if you put all those fighters together and able to rate them equally. You can't do that. Okay? You can't put them all side by the side and put them through no like football or NFL concubine and see who got the bigger upside. So everything you do is speculative because you ain't put them all side by side. They didn't fight all together. They didn't fight any of that. That's why you just using words and twisting them, trying to make yourself make sense.
I'm not twisting anything.
Yes, hold up. Vitality was way more skilled than his brother and picked on way faster than his brother early on than Vladimir. It took Vladimir as it gets It took Vladimir as it gets sparked out by like 3 or 4 cats to learn his lesson, whereas Vitaly learned it faster over time. He had a natural ability to know what he had to do to win faster than his baby brother. And it was evident in how their careers went. How many times
level of competition?
How many times
What level of competition did Vitaly look better? Against what level of competition did Vitaly look better? No, just answer. Against what level of competition?
No, I'm asking you a question. How many times, I asked the question first. How many times did Vladimir get sparked out before he took his ass to figure it out? How many trainers did he change?
It's irrelevant.
Before he took his ass?
It's irrelevant.
Oh, no, it's irrelevant. Oh, okay.
Because listen. No. Listen to me. No, Myron. I'm gonna give you a apples to apples comparison. Look here, I could go right now, and I could beat 100 elementary kids in basketball, right, and never take a loss. However, if I'm playing against people in the NFL and I take, the NBA, and I take a couple of losses to get better, my competition was way harder, so I took losses. You was playing elementary kids. It's not the same.
Say, can I chime in?
Matters.
Can I chime in on this discussion?
They're on the same level. It's all speculative what you're saying.
No, man. Vitaly never fought the level of competition. The best person Vitaly ever fought, and really his biggest step up ever, was against Lennox Lewis, and he lost that fight.
Can I chime in on this conversation?
Yes, sir.
So you have to. So there's a couple of things you have to do. First is you have to actually have lived through that time frame, right? So I was there. and I recall when both of these guys were active. I was a fan of the sport of boxing when Vladimir was on his way up, when Villely was on his way up. So I got to see everything firsthand. And first and foremost, in context, at that time, nobody considered Vladimir to be better than Villely.
Facts.
Right? That's the first thing that you have to consider. Like nobody who was around during that time. If you go back and watch the HBO broadcasts, all right, nobody thought nobody thought Vladimir was better. That's the first thing. The second thing is standing. Villely was a much higher regarded fighter because he because he had a chin. Right? Now everyone thought the comparison between the two was Villely was the tougher, more robotic brother, and Vladimir was the more fluid, but he had problems with his chin, more timid, right? And unfortunately, losses count. Now, let's look at Villely's losses and let's look at Vladimir's losses. Now, Vladimir lost to, he's got 3 knockout losses to, I'm trying to remember, what's the first guy's name? First guy is, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
No names.
Well, he was a no-name guy.
And a Brewster.
No. Brewster was his third knockout loss. Saunders was his second knockout loss. His first knockout loss came to what was it? It was a no-name guy. I'll find the name, but it was a no-name guy, right? His second knockout loss. Who was it?
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish.
His second knockout loss came to a semi-retired pro golfer in the name of Corey Sanders. And it's a fact. Corey Sanders, at the time he knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, was a semi-retired pro golfer. These are facts. All right.
And
his third knockout loss
too.
Came to Lamont Brewster, who at the time was not a highly regarded heavyweight. He was basically a prospect.
He was also another good boxer.
Wait, I agree. He was a good fighter, but he hadn't proven anything. He didn't. In the highlight of his career is knocking out China Chin Vladimir Klitschko. But prior to beating Klitschko, Lamont Brewster was not a highly regarded heavyweight. He was a prospect. Right? These are the facts. I was there. I watched the fight. That was a broadcast live. I remember all this happening. I remember the context in which all these things happen. Right? Now, those are Klitschko's losses. And wait, I'm pulling up the name of the guy of the first guy.
So why you pull that up? Lamont Brewster and Corey Sanders were both very good fighters. However, when
Ross Purity.
Hold on. Let me finish while he's looking it up. Hold on, Myron.
Let me finish.
When Vladimir got with the manual, he became a completely different fighter. That is when he hit his stride.
Let me finish. Now, again, I was there.
Ross Purity.
He was looking something up, Myron.
Now, I was there, okay? And I remember the context as if it were yesterday.
Back.
Ross Purity is the first guy who knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, a guy none of you have ever heard of. None of you have ever seen that guy fight.
Okay? That's right. Facts.
Okay? Second guy was Corey Sanders, who was a semi-retired. The guy was retired from boxing. Okay, in fact, I think he was probably a replacement because the guy who was supposed to fight Klitschko pulled out of the fight. And they literally went onto the golf course, had this guy come out of retirement to fight Vladimir Klitschko, and Corey Sanders knocked him out in 2 rounds.
Knock his ass out, Tony. Knock his ass out, Tony.
Now, mind you,
that's right.
Vladimir Klitschko was 40-1 when the Corey Sanders fight happened.
He wasn't a bum.
He was 40-1, right? And then we fast forward to the Lamont Brewster fight, where Klitschko got knocked out in 5 rounds.
Knocked his ass out, Tony. He knocked his ass out, Tony.
That's okay.
Klitschko
that's all right, Myron, because Vitaly didn't fight the same level of competition.
Let me finish.
Let him finish, Tony.
This speaks to level of opposition.
You the one ad-libbing, Myron.
this speaks exactly to level of opposition because Vladimir Klitschko got knocked out 3 times by nondescript opposition. Now that's a fact, cannot be argued. Those are facts. Now let's look at Vitaly and his lone 2 losses. His lone 2 losses came to top heavyweights. Lennox Lewis in a fight that he was winning. All right,
break it to him, Tony. I know it's
break
it to him, bro. I know it's
and
2
his
losses.
other loss came to Chris Bird
because he did
in another fight he was lost. Lewis and Bird are top heavyweights.
Hey, what's your name, sir? What's your
top
name, brother?
The fight doctor's in the
brother?
house. The fight doctor's in the house on Rick James status.
Hey, fight doctor. Hey,
Listen, boys. I can't keep up with this. Right, it's been really nice talking to you, but I've got to shoot. Right, I can't keep up with this. Take it easy, boys. See you later. Yeah. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. Bye.
Don't go anywhere because Fight Doctor about to get Tony a butt plug. Go ahead, Fight Doctor.
So the idea.
No. So here we go. Here we go.
So the idea.
So what we do know is
Vladimir Klitschko, based on
was a good fighter, and we know Brewster was a very good fighter.
You need to let
those
Tony
were not
rebuttal.
2 bombs. Regardless what he's saying, to put it in context, they still were good fighters. So, hold on, let me finish. If you look at their resumes, Vladimir fought more top-level competition and beat more top-level competition, especially after he got with Emmanuel Stewart to where he looked like a completely revamped fighter.
Fight Doctor, go ahead, Fight Doctor.
Vitaly does not have the resume. He does not have the resume. If Vitaly had fought,
does not have the losses. He
doesn't
doesn't have
have
the KO losses.
And listen, Vladimir did. We don't know what he would have looked like. What we had, he lost them both. He lost to Chris Bird. He lost that because he quit on the stool because of his shoulder.
Chris Bird.
He lost that fight. Then his next biggest fight that he had was against Lennox Lewis, and he lost that. Both fights were his biggest fights at the time. In other words, every time he really stepped up, he lost.
Chris Bird is easily better than anybody who beat Vladimir Klitschko with the exception of Tyson Fury. Chris Bird is better than Ross Fury. Chris Bird is better than Corey Sanders.
Right.
Chris Bird is better than Amon Brewster.
You've got to look at where in the career he fought.
We don't even need to talk about Lennox Lewis. Now, those are the 2 guys who beat Vladimir Vitaly. The guys who beat Vladimir, like I said, literally
what about
came
the guys
off
that
of
lost
the golf
to Vladimir?
course. Okay, the guys, the type of opposition who knocked out Vladimir Klitschko literally comes off the golf course. So the idea that somehow Vladimir Klitschko was a better fighter than Vitaly is ridiculous. And anybody who was in that time when they were both active would have said as much.
It's very easy to look at their resume.
Can you find a ranking? Can you find a ranking? Can you find a ranking?
Tony.
Can you find a ranking from that time?
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. What Fight Doctor is saying right now is what the problem with boxing is today.
You cannot find a ranking where Vladimir was
ranked over Vitaly.
No,
I'll let you talk. I'll let you have this.
When they were both active.
Here's the issue. The issue is people like the Fight Doctor don't like to look at who they beat, who they all fought, what their resume looks like. So people like the Fight Doctor come out and say Deontay Wilder's one of the best fighters ever because he beat a whole bunch of fucking bums and looked good.
You're putting words in my mouth.
But the minute he stepped up, hold on, I'm not done talking. But the minute a fighter like Deontay Wilder stepped up in competition, he didn't look as good. He didn't look as good at all. In fact, he got knocked out twice in a row.
Do not put words in my mouth. I never made that assertion.
Resumes
Don't put words in my mouth.
He kept talking over me when I was quiet the whole time he was talking. Resumes matter at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, while Vladimir may have more losses, guess what? He has a way better resume and beat way better fighters than Vitaly ever did. Period. Resumes matter.
Listen, I just wanted to say this because I just popped back in to say this because I looked something up.
We're going to wrap it up soon. So could you all
just right quick. Vitaly has 2 losses. He has 2 losses on his resume. Who did he lose to?
Chris Bird and Lennox Lewis.
And he lost to Lennox Lewis.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. How many guys did he
Yeah, but we can't just look at losses. We've got to look at who
and Lennox Lewis.
Your internet is going out.
That's it.
Internet, mate.
Fighters did he fight like Chris Berg and Lennox Lewis? That's it. That's it. My point is this: his resume and level of competition when compared to Vladimir is nowhere even close. They're not even in the same stratosphere.
He was shit out of Chris Berg and his shoulder rotator. He was shit out of Chris Berg.
One at a time. How many times do I have to say the same fucking thing?
He might have beat the shit out of him, but he quit on the stool against him.
Or his rotator cuff. Yeah. So,
Butt plug Tony.
You know what's worse? You know what's worse than getting your ass whooped? Quitting in a fight.
I can't be mad at opinion. And in my opinion, Tally was better.
Like I said, you know what's worse than getting your ass whooped? Quitting.
In my opinion, Vitaly was better.
Yeah,
But
listen,
in my opinion,
Vladimir beat a bunch of B-level guys, and that's actually being generous.
That's fact.
I don't see
So did Vitaly.
a big B-level guys. I don't see a real disparity between their level of opposition. What I do
Let me
see
ask you a
is
question.
But what
Let
I
me
do
ask you
see.
a
Wait, let me finish.
Why?
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. What I do see is a wide disparity between the level of opposition they lost to. Vladimir lost to only the top heavyweights. Vladimir lost to bums and scrubs, literally, guys coming off the golf course. And you talk about resume. Well, loss is a part of your resume. How you lose and who you lose to figures into the equation. I'm sorry, but it does.
Soak it in, butt plug, Tony.
Okay, so check this out. The only two good fighters he fought that were top tier, he lost to. So yes, losses do matter. When you step up and you're losing to the best, and every time you step up, you lose to the best, and you can never beat them. Guess what? That matters. When Vladimir stepped up, yes, he had losses, but he also beat some of the best of his era, unlike his brother Vitaly. Also, hold on. Also, neither one of them had belts. Why is it that Vladimir collected 3 of the belts and Vitaly could only get 1 if he was fighting such stellar competition?
Because he was fighting butt plug opponents.
Because he didn't fight nobody. Because he didn't fight the level of competition Vladimir did. That's why he only got 1 strap and his brother got the other 3.
What is the where do you want us to go with this? So do you want us all to say we all love Vlad then? Is that
no. He's just saying his piece. I'm saying my piece. I don't care what he says.
Well, to be completely honest, Vitaly knocked out the guys who knocked out Vladimir.
I know.
Vitaly won a belt before Vladimir, butt plug Tony.
Guess what? That's some real homo stuff you talking about, Myron. We see where your mind's at. So
that's
moving
you,
past,
Tony.
let me ask you a question though. That's even worse. How is it that he got a belt first, but then his brother collected more belts than him?
Belts are only good to hold up your pants.
Yeah,
they have no significance outside of holding up your pants. That's it. Belts don't mean anything.
Oh,
they mean nothing.
He brought up the belt. He brought up the belt, but he can't get around the fact that Vitaly only got 1. His brother got 3, and if Vitaly got it first, why he couldn't get another one?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that because I can't go.
I'm with you on that, Tony.
Exactly, because he never fought the level of competition that Vladimir did.
Yeah, he did.
Listen,
Vladimir.
So who's on Vladimir?
Vladimir is more accomplished. Vitaly is more preferred.
Here's one thing. Vladimir Klitschko.
That's exactly.
I don't understand.
That's
I don't know. They want to keep it going, so I'm gonna keep responding.
Well, I'm saying Vladimir Klitschko had a.
I agree.
This is what happens, and this is what happens because y'all don't know when to shut your mouth and respect when this bitch is talking on her own platform. I give you lot free range all the fucking time. And when I go to talk, everybody thinks they can overtalk me. No, you fucking can't. The show is going to get shut down. So everybody say their last word because this wasn't a show. We'll do a show, Vitaly against Vlad. If it got everyone so hyped up, I'll do a show maybe tomorrow about this, and we'll chop it up then. We tried to stick to the topic. Everybody's tired. We're in London. You lot are in our past. Wrap it up. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Wrap it up with the Dillian Whyte shit. And say what you've got to say. Last words. all of you. So let's start with Kenny.
Right. In terms of like the Dillian Whyte,
It's like dealing with children. I've got children. I'd rather deal with them. At least when they act like arseholes, they've got a reason. Because they're children. What's you lot's excuse? All talking over each other, all trash talking for fucking what? No one can hear ya. Go ahead, Kenny. Sorry.
Right. In terms of the Dillian Whyte fight, I expect that hopefully by the 21st of February, not only are we going to get a decision, Dillian Whyte's probably going to get about 10% more, because I don't think the arbitration is going to give him the 40-45%, and then we're going to have a promotion in our hands, because I know people are saying that Dillian Whyte shouldn't say anything, but I really do think for his fans in this country who loyally watch his fights, I think he needs to promote the life out of this fight, because I think British fight fans won't turn up to the fight. I won't fill the seats unless there's a good versus evil contest. You know, London versus Manchester. We need that in British boxing, because let's face it, man. Boxing needs a lift. We haven't had anything since December, so we need these two to promote the life out of this fight.
Can I go?
No, ERF is next. ERF is next.
I ain't spoke for a minute.
It's going to go round. No one's been able to speak for a minute, by the way. I don't know if you didn't know. ERF go.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte, I think he's keeping quiet till that arbitration's done. I think that's best for him, because Tyson Fury likes to control what his opponent does in and outside the ring. If you look at when he gets into his opponent's heads, everything he controls. And right now he's trying to control Dillian Whyte, saying, come out and say something, come out and do this. Dillian's like, nah, I'll come out and talk when I want to talk. You know what I mean? So I think Dillian's doing the right thing, doing it on his terms, talk when he wants to talk. Because when the press conferences start, best believe Tyson Fury ain't going to be able to get a word in edgeways. All he's going to say is, you're a bum, you're a bum, you're a bum, you're a dosser. That's all he'll say, and Dillian will rip him apart in a press conference.
Great. Yeah. I love it. Love it. Thank you for that contribution, ERF. Now we'll go to Tony. Tony, go ahead. Parliamentary procedure. Right now you're in England. That's where you are.
Like I said, if I was Dillian Whyte, I would stay quiet all the way to the day of the fight. I'd make sure that it flopped. I'd make Frank Warren go broke for giving me a 20% split, and I would knock Tyson Fury out so they have nothing to fall back on, because Tyson Fury's getting knocked out. That's all I really got to say on the fight.
Thank you, Tony. We'll go to Myron. Go ahead, Myron. Parliamentary procedure. You're in England right now. Go ahead.
Parliamentary procedure. I love that saying. Hey, yo, thank you, Queen Shan, for having me on. Hey, I think Dillian Whyte needs to tuck it in and do what's best for the promotion of the fight. It can only be better for him and his own exposure. You feel me? Because if he does wish to say nothing and be quiet, those who got the media on their side and working can easily turn that against him and turn him into a bad guy, somebody that he's not, cast him as something that he's not. And I don't think that's fair to Dillian Whyte and what he's been through over the last 3 years. I definitely believe he should get all the credit he just due and deserve in this fight, whether win or loss. And I think he should go ahead and play with it, but be definitely focused for the upset, to throw a Fury on the Tyson Gypsy King, and that's it. And the other thing is, you lost the debate, Tony Butt Plug Review. Suck it up.
You can tell.
You
can tell what he likes watching, because he keeps focusing on the butt. We know you sus.
And right, Doctor, what's your last word, sir? Parliamentary procedure. You are now in the UK.
Yes, ma'am. So, respect to LadyChann. Listen. It's kind of odd. Now, my understanding is that the Fury Whyte fight is supposed to happen in the United States,
No, it's in the UK. We know
it's
that
in the
now.
UK. Okay, I was just about to say that the fight belongs in the UK. So it's happening in the UK, but it's pay-per-view in the US.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right. And what's been happening in the US lately is that a lot of fights that are not pay-per-view worthy have been put on pay-per-view, like the upcoming fight between Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman. No way is this fight supposed to be pay-per-view, but I guess, you know, that's where the market is going and making us pay for fights that are not worthy. But having said that, I think that Dillian Whyte is being screwed. 80-20 is ridiculous. How does a fighter of Dillian Whyte's caliber, having been the WBC the WBC #1 fighter for as long as he has, is only entitled to 20%? You know,
and he has the diamond belt version as well.
Yes, being a WBC titleist of some sort.
Yeah.
Yet he's only acquitted 20%. That's criminal. But we're talking about the WBC, which in my mind is a criminal organization. So
it is.
Unfortunately, I don't think that there's anywhere else Dillian Whyte can go to make the type of coin he's going to make, that he should make in this fight. So my advice to Dillian Whyte would be suck it up, bite your tongue, and deliver on fight night. And you win the fight. If I were Dillian Whyte, and if I win the fight, especially if I won the fight by knockout, if there were going to be a rematch, I would demand 80-20 my way in the rematch. That's what I would do. Just to stick it to all parties involved, okay, who stuck it to me.
Right. Yeah. Because it's just like they need some parliamentary procedure over there with Bob Arum. He's not going by any of these rules, and the WBC. They're all cocksuckers. But anyway, that's how they are. You're talking about butts, throw in some cocks because they suck them as well. That's all what they're doing. You know what I mean? But guys, you guys have been amazing. Let me ask you a question. Would you like a show on Vitaly and Vlad?
Nah, I've heard enough tonight about that.
To be honest,
nah. Nobody will ever be able to talk over a Tony butt plug.
Look, he's still on that homo stuff. Still focusing on booty.
I may do it tomorrow. Just check out my the community tab.
The guys are laughing, man. We gotta have a fun show, y'all. The guys are laughing. Butt plug Tony in the place to be.
We could definitely do that. Yeah, that's
dude over here.
Because you don't know.
Hey, Myron, don't lie. You know you.
No, we're not saying anymore because we're going to save all the bullshit and all the trash.
Hey, Tony, I rock with you hard, man. I just like messing with you. You very opinionated and strong-minded like myself.
He's a professional.
Hey, it's cool, Myron. I like you even though you sus. We know how it is.
They both
you put Tony butt plug. That name is yours now. I'll put that on you. Don't try to reverse it.
All of the bromance is over. We'll save all that for tomorrow because you guys are rekindling your romantic relationship. I respect it.
Shit, stop it.
You guys
look, Lady Chann. All it is some girls like girl booty, people like Myron like man booty. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're liking the wrong
what
booty.
The blood clot?
I'm out. I need to sleep.
Yeah, well, I'm closing down the show. So I would like to thank Kenny Ken, one of my favorite new people, my guy.
Hey, all y'all guys are fucking awesome, dude.
Part of Team Dundon season, always here for the weekly wrap-up show. Kenny, I massively appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy it.
Hey, Kenny is a freaking man, dude.
He is. I love Kenny. Did you enjoy it, Ken?
I must admit, you guys got me thinking. Even though it kind of became heated, but I never once had that debate about Vladimir or
Vitaly.
No one asked what I thought about it, so but I'm not going to say anything because I haven't got another 2 hours. But I won't say it.
We do it, though. We do it. We'll do it. Ken, if you see it, if you want to. I'll maybe do like an earlier show on it, like an earlier time. But if you want to,
you know what? I think the thing is, right. I think right now, modern boxing is that it's so exciting that we got 10, in my opinion, very, very world-class heavyweights. In any other era, one of those 10 fighters in the top 10, in my opinion, could have been the world champions in any other era, but this era. That's you know, we're very lucky as boxing fans to, you know, witness the careers of the up and coming fighters who've got in the top 10. So I think that's a better debate, in my opinion, than Vitaly and Vladimir, because let's face it, that era wasn't great for for boxing in general, the heavyweight division. Just saying,
facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
LadyChann do a podcast every night. With these lot, it's like running the daycare centre. They drain me. I love them.
I'm feeling so good tonight. Yeah,
I love them to pieces. I love these lot all to pieces. Don't ever
I'll
get
leave
wrong.
you one more thing. I'll leave you one more thing.
Yeah.
If the top heavyweights, you know, fall asleep at the wheel, there's a guy from Hammersmith, West London, who's going to be 37 this year, who will come round and clean up if they fall asleep in the wheel.
What's his name?
Joe Joyce. Watch out for him.
That's what I was thinking of when you said, bro, I want Joy Joyce to get his just due all the way through.
What we're going to do is a heavyweight show.
I said to you guys, see these two eyes? See these two eyes?
Man, I agree with you. I believe you.
Oh, your phone died, Tony. It's okay. We are not going into a new show right now. We're going to do an updated heavyweight show, so where we'll talk about the top 10 heavyweights, and we'll do that.
That's my closing remarks before.
Yeah, that's a good show. We'll do that. We'll do that. Everybody is welcome. Just check out the links. You know me, I throw the link out. Everyone's welcome on the panel. I would like to thank Tony's Reviews. I'd like to thank Kenny Ken. I'd like to thank ERF Boxing. Have you got your own channel? Can you lot plug what you've got? So Kenny Ken, where can they find you?
Instagram. You know, Twitter. I'm banned. I've been expelled from the Arsenal Supporters Club on Twitter because my views are not out. So Instagram is my place to be.
Kenny Ken.
I ain't got no.
Kenny Ken 1972. Have you got a?
I'll be about on channels on YouTube. So
okay. So yeah, ERF is always a guest. He always comes through when he wants to. He's more than welcome. Myron, where can they find you?
Boxing Logics United. Myron Magnus, peace and pugilism to all. This shit was fucking dope. Peace to LadyChann. Peace to Kenny. Tony Butt Plug Review. Peace to the brother up in the top right that brought up the topic. Everybody in the motherfucking chat. Y'all the best thing since ice cream. One love.
God. Kaboom. Thank
you,
you,
LadyChann.
Thank you. Fight Doctor in the building. Second time on the panel, but you know, we've rocked for quite a long time from day one. Would you like to be on the heavyweight show?
Yes, ma'am. Heavyweight is my favorite division. So
hey, LadyChann.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Tell somebody to get rid of that vor.ngo.
I know.
Comment.
I've got moderators that don't fucking mod. It's
somebody tell them to get rid of that because that's spam and that's probably porn to delete that right away.
Yeah, I'm doing it myself, so I've done it. So Fight Doctor, someone's done it. Fight Doctor will be here tomorrow. So we'll do the heavyweight show. I think we'll do it tomorrow and we'll analyze what
Tony is the dude too. Yes, Tony is the dude. I'm just giving Tony shit. I'm just giving Tony shit.
The panel come through like it's an open panel. I can fit up to 10 people. Let's go. Let's rock and we'll do that. Fight Doctor, thank you for coming through massively.
Oh, the Fight Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Massively appreciate you, Fight Doctor. And
thank you for having me. Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome, and hopefully see you too.
Thank you for bringing balance to the force, brother. In the argument and everything, you was like Obi-Wan in this bitch, bringing down, dropping shit. I'm sorry, like Yoda. You was Yoda, and I was Obi-Wan, and Tony Review was Anakin Skywalker about to go to goddamn Darth Vader. That's what it was.
D2, fucking hell, it's me at this point.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Listen, I'm a fight fan first before I'm a fan of any fighter. So, you know, I was around during that era, and I just recall exactly how Vitaly and Vladimir were regarded.
Yeah, you've got more of a clearer view of it because, exactly. And like I say, I don't want a panel where everybody agrees. Like, I've gone through the mills of where we argue. We can argue, we can combat and debate, but I just want everyone to know that it's still all love, by the way, because the world would be boring if we all thought the same thing. So sometimes Fight Doctor says some stuff that rubs me up the wrong way, and sometimes I think I say some stuff that rubs him up the wrong way, but it's still respectful because then sometimes you can learn from other people's opinions, and that's all I'm here to do. Student of the game, I don't know everything. If I don't know something, I say I don't know. If I know it, you guys get to know me. Once I say something, it's usually a fact. Because otherwise I just won't say it. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's an opinion. So I massively appreciate you. Fight Doctor, we will see you tomorrow. Everybody in the chat, we will see you tomorrow as well. Same time, same place. So thank you for joining me, everybody in the chat. And thank you, Fight Doctor, for joining me.
Thanks again for having me. Peace.
You're welcome. Peace out. Guys, you were amazing. Ronald Finkley in the build, Dizzin. Hector Garcia Micarina in the build, Dizzin. Toby Bartlett in the build, Dizzin. Kelvin, Tony's reviews, amazing. Guys, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at LadyChann, LadyChann, as you can see. Bon Scott, Thomas Jones, my guy in the build, Dizzin. Jed Star, my brother in the build, Dizzin. Paul Evans, Locke. Lisa Bell's my sister in the build, Dizzin. Thank you for coming. Even the trolls that came, but it was quite a respectful chat. I appreciate that, you know. Bon Scott, thank you for coming. If I didn't say your name already, Hap, my guy, thank you for coming. Hap is always one of the great moderators. He has totally opposing opinions, and sometimes we have the same. He's a great moderator. He's a great person to have on the panel. Tony Kelly, thank you. I hope you do tune in again. Thank you so much. Massively appreciated. Who else was there? X Shots, thank you for coming through. Toby Bartlett, who's that? Fight Fan 30. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, I did done told them, didn't I? I did have to done told them. I think we got a super chat from our guy. 1 second. We've got a super chat from our guy, Will Lynch. Thank you, Will Lynch. The plot twist title of the video, I thought Fury would have pulled out, not White. Boxing indeed is the theatre of the unexpected, for dropping that quarter of a dizzup on your girl. Thank you so much. And I agree. It's all a drama. We thought, remember we was talking about this. We was talking about that it would more likely be Fury to pull out. But you never know. Because there's everything always happens on this witching 11th hour. If you notice, on the 11th hour. I don't know what the fuck. I'm going to have to research numerology, what this fucking 11th hour really does mean. Thank you for your super chat, Will Lynch. And we'll be back tomorrow. Bon Scott. I love my channel as well. So do I. Thank you so much. I didn't know about butt plugs, but hey, you learn something new every day. Whether you retain it or throw it away, you know, at least you learned it. Thank you for coming, Bon Scott. In the build, Dizzin, Boxing Logics United, guys. So go over to Myron's, subscribe. He puts out good content. You know, he analyzes stuff, breaks it down, and gives his opinion, just as I do. You know, so thank you, Myron, for dropping that quarter of a dizzup on your girl. I've just got people that, sorry, my background's a bit noisy. I've got people with noisy. They're just not respecting the ardor that I'm actually working. But anyway, always surrounded by chaos. Chaos, Bon Scott. Thank you very much. But thank you for Lisa Bales. There's so many names I can't even call. I hope UGC Flame, if he was here. I don't know if he was, but I haven't seen him for a minute. DT3, boom. You know, it's the boxing bunch as well. Fish for coming through. Guys, it was too many people to actually holler and say thank you to. But you know who you are. No disrespect if I haven't called your name. But if you look at the chat, there's literally a million people. So, you know, as I sign off. Anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, this is LadyChann rep none less. Come box with Shan. Jan. LadyChann has left the build, Dizzin. Jan. LadyChann. Fight.